small recap. You had woken up on the beach. You were very suspicious of the town, and for a very good reason. Once you had gone into the town, you had seen that no one had recognized you, and for the most part, people were relatively friendly. You went ahead and did your little shopping spree through magic items, and found yourself in Emma's and Dalton's shop. Emma's and Dolan's, sorry.
We forgot that most of the town was still alive, and it's 100 years in the past.
Yeah, that's pretty good information that I'm so happy that Deimos picked up.
We also pulled some bullshit with some cards.
Yes, you had swung some cards. Bone is now rich as fuck. Ludwig had used some wishes. Deimos had gotten some items, and so did Sapphire. Notably, though, Sapphire's alignment has changed from chaotic neutral to lawful neutral, and there's a demon somewhere in the world.
And I have a baby
so
dragon.
About that alignment, just expect me to do a lot of robbing because, no.
You still have to somewhat play lawful neutral.
Yeah,
I will try my best.
You gotta try to be like, is it okay for me to rob this person now?
At least second guess and go towards like the greater good type of thing.
You're essentially like a Robin Hood kind of thing. Like, if they're stealing from poor, then sure, maybe you can justify it.
Exactly. And of course, your alignment can change over time depending on whatever events happen, etc., 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 blah, blah, blah. All right. Are we good?
I have a baby dragon now.
You forgot about the mini fight.
I forgot about the what now?
The fire drake.
Sapphire's fighter.
Not the fire drake.
Oh, yes. Sapphire's got a friend who is also a Palad Elf now.
Oh, yeah, my friend.
And,
another fuck
and what am I forgetting?
He's a 5th level fighter, and he's an Echo Knight.
Yes. And Ludwig has an egg in his chest.
Yep.
Now.
Yep.
You also got a bunch of tattoos from a very sexy tiefling. So.
Which was very hot. Deimos is now overpowered.
A lot of you are overpowered, so I got to deal with that.
You all leveled up by 1, so I hope you all leveled up.
Yes. So.
Me and Ishmael are the ultimate boyfriends. We have matching tattoos.
This is true.
And the gold is blocking the door.
Yes. So that was the last thing. That was where we ended.
Someone has a shit ton of gold.
Yeah. Bone drew the gem card, and a giant hailstorm of gold fell from the sky and is now blocking the entrance to the shop. Them's the breaks, I guess. But you do get to keep it. I have made the decision that it is weightless, so otherwise you'll go down.
Just shove it in the bag.
You could. You could. But you are all in Bema's and Dolan's shop, and there is 2 things happening currently. One, Deimos.
Yes.
Give me a wisdom save.
Oh fuck, hold on. I was not expecting a wisdom save.
Nope.
Who could?
Fucking... Just fucking... Alright, hold on. I gotta get to my character sheet. Hold on. Sorry, I'm on my phone right now for some reason.
Go faster, you hoe.
I am a hoe, you're right.
Come on, hoe, speed it up.
That's an 8.
Okay. So I'll start with you. You feel the overwhelming compulsion to count the walls.
The what?
Out loud. Slowly.
What?
1, 2, 3.
Deimos, what are you doing?
There are like 4 walls. I don't know why I want to count the walls, but I'm counting.
Deimos, can you count
to 3?
Can you count to 4?
4? I think it's 4.
As soon as you hit 4, you feel the secondary compulsion to pick the letter either B or M.
Him for Minotaur.
Okay. Out of the fourth wall comes flying a mask to your face.
A what?
A mask.
Oh gosh.
Oh, is he gonna match Sapphire and Landon?
No, it's hotter.
Oh no, it's Two-Face.
Which color is it? Please tell me.
It is a white mask.
Ooh. Okay.
Is he gonna turn into a hysterical madman?
As much as I would like that, no. It is the mask of the White Dragon, as Dolan tells you.
Oh.
Ooh.
But it is currently stuck to your face.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna happen.
I just launched it right out of the fourth wall because I had no idea how else to give it to you.
I mean, it just magically appears on my face. It could happen that way too, but I'm dead. She launched it from the fourth wall.
Exactly.
That was a good pun. All right, I'll give you that.
Okay.
Thank you. And now I'm going to be struggling to take it off.
For who is this masked marauder?
And now, for wisdom save number 2. Sapphire. Are you here?
Like deck save.
Yeah,
oh no, this is definitely a wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Holy shit, that went flying. Wait, give me a second. My dice just went to fucking hell.
We went to hell and came back.
Okay, that's 21.
Okay. You are perfectly fine.
Okay.
Now then. To deal with your scenario currently.
Wait, we had to fail the save to get our items? Hello?
Everyone just unanimously muted at the same time. It's kind of creepy.
Yeah, well.
I guess. Ew.
Yeah, I mean, I'm petting my son, so.
Anyway, Deimos is struggling as he fell to the floor.
Just sharing a drink with mask. Ludwig is just sharing a drink with his tiefling, so.
So, are you all just gonna chill inside the shop for all of eternity?
I'm gonna choke you until I figure out that the mask cannot be removed. Can I still eat through the mask?
No.
Wait, does the mask have any breathing holes?
Yes, but it's not made for a Minotaur, so they're kind of in the wrong place.
Oh, I see. So you could suffocate.
Is it like on my snout?
Yes.
That's fine.
Dear Bowden, foretell me, for how is the card that you drew from the deck?
I mean, it could have been a lot worse.
I see. How is your ankle doing by chance?
Ankle?
Your boy appears to be nibbling on
Oh,
it.
yeah. Huh. I hardly even noticed. He's not biting too hard. I could take it. I'll let him chomp all he wants. It'll make his teeth good and strong.
I see. Excellent.
Be a good biter, boy.
Nibble, nibble.
Learns from me.
The boy is doing his best.
Oh god, not that again.
So, unlike the rest of you, Honey is panicking because he's short and the room is dark. So, he's trying to push open the door with his face.
Oh, buddy.
And it's not working.
Can I cast dancing lights in the area to make it lighter in here?
You can?
Leave.
I'm gonna do that.
Also, he has grown a little bit. He is basically a large Komodo dragon at this point.
A worm.
Nice.
Chonky.
Chunky
boy.
Chunky.
Wait. If it's stuck on my snout, does that mean I can still chew from the side of my mouth?
I mean,
You can attempt to.
Alright, I'm gonna try to do that. If I can't eat, Deimos is dead.
Emma looks over at Dolan. What have I told you about pulling out this stupid thing? Gets us nothing but trouble. Well, I get lucky usually when I pull out of it.
His pull-out game strong.
This pull-out game is great. That's why he has this stupid thing. It never goes wrong for him.
I want to go over to Landon.
That's me.
Dear Landon, I was wondering if I could assist you with your god of sorts.
My God.
Uh,
What do you mean?
Well, I believe I can do a wonderful trick that could get you in contact with him rather easily.
Okay, I'm listening.
I have a certain ability that can harbor spells on one's skin.
Right.
Would you care to be a guinea pig of sorts?
Guinea pig. Do I fucking look like a guinea pig?
Well, you don't look like a rodent to me, but you are magically adept.
Thank you.
Technically,
I
guinea
think.
pigs aren't rodents. Bones just kind of calls from afar very quietly.
But I would like to test some of my magic if you would be ever so kind to...
Lazarus, I have a question. Am I able to, like, without expending, like, a rage slot per se, would I be able to, like, go into a rage just so, like, my little doggy ears and tail can come out? Like, I'm not a rogue.
Cute.
Are you are a barbarian, right?
I am a barbarian.
Are you saying that you just want to get angry?
Well, I mean, I just want, like, because whenever since I'm, like, totem of the wolf spirit, every time I rage, I like to think that I grow, like, little wolf ears and a tail.
Okay.
So cute.
Would I be able to do that, like, right now?
I'll say
and
growing
would
the
I...
ears and tail is a bit of a side effect. It just kind of happens whenever you get angry. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Do I
can.
have to... Do I have to mark down a rage slot?
No, as long as you're, somewhat angry or upset, they just kind of poof.
I'm not a rodent.
I never was implying such, but I would like someone to test my magic on that could at least have a beneficial gain from it, even if it does work.
Right.
No, he's not the only spellcaster in this group.
I am not.
Ishmael,
There's-
would you allow me
I
to
will
test
say
my...
you're not. None of us will be convinced by the shadow magic for 9 days. I think.
That is
After
true.
this situation.
But this is not a
This
product
is
of the
not-
shadow magic. This is separate.
This is not a shadow feat. This is not... It's still part of the same class, but it's different from the other ability.
There he goes. There we go. Hello?
Hey, sorry, I was just reconnecting a different computer.
Ishmael,
Gotcha.
would you mind if I tested it upon you to get in contact with your god?
I think Ishmael is here.
I think he's my AFK.
I'm not sure if Ishmael's here, but
I'll stick with Landon then.
I'll agree to it.
Hi,
Yes,
I am here and I'm listening. I'm just like not
there
actively
you are.
participating.
I'm going to make a tattoo of contact other plane. I'm going to put it on his arm.
Okay.
Right.
So let's see if I succeed.
What is he drawing it on with fucking Sharpie?
Yes.
No. Technically speaking, I just touch your arm and it kind of appears like a shadow. 26.
So you're drawing it on with Sharpie.
It goes on your forehead.
No! I'm too sexy for that.
So there is now a tattoo
What makes you think
on
it's
your
not sexy?
arm.
Put it on my neck. Put it on my neck.
Fine.
That's like the only unmarked territory you really
So,
have, honestly.
Ludwig is just going to like put his hand next to your neck, and now you have a shadow-like tattoo on your neck. You cannot feel it that it's there, but it's there. You also should gain some kind of semblance of feeling that you have the ability to use this spell, even if you don't have access to the spell.
So, does that mean I can contact Truth now?
You could contact your god, whatever which one you worship, but it uses up the tattoo.
So if it is truth, then yes.
It is Truth. We've been over this
Yes, I know.
a few times.
I know.
There you are, Landon. That should suffice. Could you
Uh,
contact
Also,
Oh,
sorry, continue.
could you contact your god by chance? Tell me if it works.
Well, what, like right now?
Sure. It is free spells after all.
I mean, I guess I do that. Do I have to roll anything for
Nope.
doing that?
It just happens.
Lazarus, I do that.
So, as you do that, the room kind of goes a bit cold. You got a chill run up your spine. It does feel like you're being watched with an extra set of eyes than the number that was in here before. But you're not quite hearing anything yet.
I can feel his presence, but I can't quite hear his voice yet.
Well, at least we know that it's somewhat working. Interesting.
Hear whose voice, my dear?
Lord Truth.
You feel a tap on your shoulder.
I turn it up.
He's sitting cross-legged in some kind of affinite form on the desk.
Oh,
Can I
that's who I
see
was.
that?
Yeah. No, you all can see that.
I'm just gonna recoil to the
shit.
back of the room and just try to move away from him, like, the further I can.
It's been so long. How are you doing?
Quite effeminate.
I'll fucking die in a ditch.
He smiles over at Sapphire, a nice toothy grin. Not really saying much of anything. Well, it seems like you have found your way to a very interesting place.
Yeah. Is there any way you could, like, bring us back home?
Bring you back home. You realize that spell only lets you talk to me, right?
Right. Of course. I wasn't exactly given specifics. I don't know how to address you. We've never actually had a conversation before.
Lord and Master will do quite nicely.
Yeah, I'm not gonna call you Master. Because that's fucking weird. How about just Truth? Does Truth work?
How about asshole? Asshole sounds pretty good to me.
He snaps his fingers, and Sapphire, make a con save.
Fucking. My con. Okay, my con's good. 10.
You are choking. You are on your knees, and it feels like something is stuck in your throat.
What are you doing?
It seems like your friend has caught a cold.
Stop it.
Stop what? I'm all the way over here.
You did something.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Let my
But it
sister
does look like it's
go.
getting worse.
Is there anything I can do to, like, help her?
You could see what's wrong. As of right now, she can't talk either.
Ouch. Shit.
There does appear to be a bit of a bulge in her throat, though.
Oh.
Truth, knock it off.
And he shrugs. He
Please.
gets off of the table and just trods across the room in the middle of all of you. Well, if you have no other business with me, I might as well be going.
Did we have business with him?
I don't think so.
Okay. If he disappears, is whatever is happening to Sapphire, is it gonna go with him? Hello? Lazarus.
Sir DM.
And he's dead.
Well,
Rest in peace.
it was nice knowing
Put
you.
a F in the chat for our
Damos.
DM.
I mean, I'm here. But...
I like Deimos as our new DM.
I like Damos's. Yeah, it's Grindhorn time. I don't think I have Margaret's sheet anymore, though.
I don't
guys?
either. Hello?
Yeah.
Did something happen?
Yeah, you like
Yeah.
really
He
disappeared.
fizzled from existence amongst
And
the
on
gods.
the third day.
Yeah. If
It
that
was
happens, my
resurrected.
dinner is just being shit.
As
Sorry about
Yeah.
Truth left the building,
Yeah.
so
Same
did
happens to
Lazarus.
me.
Yeah,
They're
I
one
asked
and
a
the
question,
same.
you just kind of ignored me.
that. I didn't ignore you. I just couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Oh, I was like, if Truth disappears, does that mean that he, like, whatever's happening to Saphir, is that gonna go away too?
So my response to that was, you don't know what exactly is wrong with Saphir, or what he did, if he did anything. So I'm gonna say no. You don't really know.
Oh.
I'm still choking on the floor, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
I don't have any healing spells because, like, I could dispel magic.
You could try.
I'm going to.
Do any of us see this?
All of you see this. You're all in the room.
Oh, Saphir, are you okay? What is wrong?
So choose one creature, object, or magical effect within range, which would be Saphir choking. Any spell of 3rd level or lower on the target ends. For each spell of 4th level or higher, on the target, make an ability check using your spellcasting ability. The DC equals 10 plus the spell's level, so it would be level DC 13. On a successful check, the spell ends.
I gotcha. So you're using it?
Yes.
Nothing happens.
Sure. Nothing happens?
No.
I wasted a fucking pack slot for no goddamn reason.
I'm gonna run over to Saphir and just, like, attempt to give her the Heimlich maneuver.
Okay.
It probably won't do anything, but Bone's gonna start panicking and try to just, like, squeeze her.
Make me a strength check.
Strength check.
Break my ribs.
I'll try not to. Oh, it's a 13.
Okay.
Oh,
So
I'm like,
as
dude.
you start squeezing her, you do hear Saphir start to gag. She's spitting up something black. It seems liquidy and it's kind of just dribbling down her chin.
So
But whatever's in her throat seems to be kind of stuck still.
Hi.
I would just like to point out that if y'all go way too hard on her, she will kind of break in half because Saphir is like 60 pounds. And her strength is a -1.
Sounds to me
Oh.
like you better figure this out very soon.
When helpfulness backfires.
I'm gonna look at Saphir, and I'm gonna, like, hold her face. I'm gonna say, "Is it okay if I try to reach down your throat? I'm so sorry."
First
Nods.
step
She
of the
nods.
maneuver.
Yeah.
Are you choking?
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna attempt to hold her mouth open and try to reach my fingers into her mouth and pull whatever it is out of her throat.
You are touching... It's very, very dark already in the room, so you can't really see what's in her throat.
No,
I
Oh,
have
I'm
dark
gonna
vision.
cast
Does that help?
There's dancing lights.
Maybe slightly. Oh, there is dancing lights. Plus, you do have dark vision.
Yeah.
You see a brassy color, a little bit of a shine. When you reach down, you do feel something metal hit your fingers.
Do I need to roll something to try to pull it out?
It's your fucking weapon.
Survival.
Depending on what it is, I would be careful not to cut my throat open.
This is
Yeah.
I would say Dex.
My dex isn't super good. Let's hope for a good roll.
You're being careful.
Also
advantage?
coming from someone who has a CPR certification, if you see someone choking, don't actually reach down their throat and try to remove it. You could make it worse.
Oh yeah, I would not do
No.
that either.
Also,
just
the
saying.
first step is not asking if they're choking.
Most certainly is.
I mean, to be
16
fair,
with advantage.
you got 15?
16 with advantage.
16.
Mhm.
Okay. So you start to pull this thing out, and it's very clear that it's some kind of handle. You
Mm.
have avoided nicking any of her like internal throat somehow.
Oh my god.
But you are pulling it out very carefully and just like straight up. It is slightly curved, so it's not all the way out yet. At the very least, she's stopped choking.
It's like
Uh,
gasping for air at this point.
Sapphire, I don't know what this is in here. Should I keep going?
I can't talk really.
I know you can't talk. I just need a gesture. I don't know what to do.
She lifts a thumbs up.
Thumbs up. All right, I'll keep trying to pull it out. Do I need to do another dex?
Yes, just one last one.
With advantage or
fuck
just
this up.
regular?
This one, regular.
Don't fuck this up.
Oh.
Can I do a medicine check? to
Okay,
help
that's a
soothe Len?
15.
Okay, so 15, you manage to barely turn the handle in a way that it comes out of her throat, and it is a very large dagger. It's like the size of Sapphire's forearm.
Jesus.
Damn, that's some deep throating skills right there.
The blade is coated in black, but weirdly enough, it's very shimmery. Almost looks like if you hold it up to the dancing lights, you can see through it.
Do
Okay.
I puke?
Yes. Whatever's left inside your stomach has just come out all over the floor.
Oh.
That's fucking disgusting. Maybe next time you go to, I don't know, insults like a fucking demon, you'll think twice now, maybe?
I don't think that was him.
Her back and like just kind of hand her the dagger, just like, here you go.
And that's the thing. The second that you pull it out of her throat, she feels compelled to grab at the dagger.
I will grab it.
So, make an insight. This one with advantage. Only Sapphire.
Okay, that's good. Inside. 23.
You hear echoing inside your head that these are the eyes unclouded.
The what? The eyes unclouded?
Yes.
Okay.
So, the way you use this, it is a +2 dagger for attack and
Okay.
damage rolls. And on top of that, if you were to look through the dagger, you can manage to see magic and magical auras as if you were casting Detect Magic.
Oh, that's cool.
Okay.
Yes.
The blade is a blackish glass, but the person who is attuned with it is the only person who is able to physically see through it.
Is that a what's it called? Fuck. I forgot the name of it.
Mm. By the way, it is cursed, and
Oh,
you
of
refuse to
course.
part with it. So,
Oh, fair enough. Yeah. Fuck. I forgot what I was gonna say. Is it homebrew?
it is homebrew.
Okay. So what do I add to my character sheet? Because if
Um,
I don't edit, I'm gonna forget that I have it, and I'm gonna forget to use it.
It is based on the Acheron blade. And that is a real item. You could use Acheron blade. You could search it up and customize the name as
Can
well as what it's
you
supposed to.
send me the name?
Sure. The original name or the homebrew name?
The original name. I have the
Okay.
homebrew name written out.
Okay. So here's your original name. There you go.
I think.
And it is +2 instead of +1. It does have the two passives appropriately for Acheron Blade 2 to be Dark Blessing and Disheartening Strike.
Okay. So it's a dagger, right?
It is a dagger.
I don't have it as a dagger. That's sad.
Question.
Mhm.
I want to try to break the door down. When you
Strength check.
guys... No, not with my hands, with spell.
Okay. What are you trying to do?
I want to use wall of sand on the other side of the door to just kind of bust it open, like, towards us.
Okay. But you know that there's a bunch of gold on the other side, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Using weight in principle, we should be able to break it down with the weight plus the sand.
Okay.
So, last quick question.
Yep.
So they only have it as a greatsword, longsword, rapier, scimitar, and short sword.
In that case, go with a short sword.
All right.
It is a pretty big dagger, so short sword would be pretty appropriate.
Am I? I am. Okay, never mind.
So you managed to
Sorry,
create a
just
wall of
making sure.
sand, and it is sitting on top of the gold. The door is not coming down. Bema looks at you. Did you really think that it was a normal door in my magic shop?
I mean, at least I tried.
My next... I want to ask her, for what resistances does this door have?
If you want me to be honest, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, as well as elemental resistances.
Dear God.
Can I just Can I just? Is there a window in this place?
Yes, you are technically standing next to it.
So we can't
Hey,
open...
Can I?
Wait. So we can't open the door?
No.
Fuck.
Can I try and like just start dragging my soldier with me, and I'm gonna shove him out the window, and then jump the window as well to try and like get the gold out of the door.
So you used this dumbass as a battering ram?
No, I'm just moving the gold away from the door.
No, I know. Did you break the window with him?
No, I just opened the window.
Okay. I wanted to be clear about that.
I'm just taking him because it's strong, and I'm not.
Okay. So you do manage to sneak out the window. Dolan and Bema are going to go up the stairs that Honey was trying to back up before when he was chewing on bone. Yeah, there's an upstairs to this place too, just letting you know. And you are allowed to start clearing some of the sand out of the way. Bone, since it's your gold, are you gonna go with Sapphire and
No, my son.
what's his name? What is his name? Wait a minute.
Kaiser.
Kaiser. Okay. I like
Kaiser.
Kaiser.
The Kaiser has followed her.
Kaiser.
All hail Hitler.
It's not a Kaiser, it's a Kaiser.
I thought you said
It's
Kaiser.
2S.
The Kaiser won't be happy with you for this. Do not take the Kaiser's gold.
By the way, Landon.
That's me.
As Dolan is going up the stairs, he does feel bad that you wasted a random slot. And while they don't have a lot of rods, he does hand you something that was hiding out behind the in the back where they normally do the tattoos.
What's this?
Rod of the Pack Keeper.
Pact Keeper?
Mhm.
Is that like some warlock shit?
Mhm.
What does it do?
Rod of the Pack Keeper once a day allows you to just give you back one of your slots. Just flat out.
It can just do that?
Uh-huh.
Kind of like Rod of Absorption for wizards.
Hey, buddy.
Rod of the Pack Keeper is pretty busted.
Same with Rod of Absorption. That's busted.
It is a +1, by the way. Letting you know that.
Okay. Damn, so I gotta add some shit.
You do need to add some shit. So, they're upstairs, and you hear, for everyone that is downstairs, you hear some rumbling around, and it sounds like the house just got hit by a hurricane with whatever's being moved up top.
What the fuck is going on
Damn.
here?
I gotta fucking attune it too. Whack.
Yes. If you want to go out the window, that's fine. If you want to go upstairs, that's fine. I just leave it up to you. So.
Hello, my boy.
Can Deimos see out of the mask?
Yeah, Deimos can see. Also, where is
Okay.
Deimos?
I'm still on the floor trying to struggle against this mask.
Yeah, you can see out of the mask. It's just kind of stuck to your nose.
Sounds about right.
I'm gonna help Honey out the window with Bone.
He's, as soon as you kind of lift him to the window, he's got his little stumpy legs like clawing against the window wall.
Oh, baby.
He don't know how to climb.
I wanna like pick him up and like hand him to Bone on the outside.
Okay.
Bone, you there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna hand him to you through the window.
Okie dokie.
Honey immediately crawls up on top of Bone's head.
Hey, big boy.
Crawl on the head? That's pretty big.
Yes. Yeah. He's a
That's
lapdog that
big
doesn't know that he's not.
I have a big empty noggin. I could take it.
Big brain, big
strength.
smooth brain.
Make a strength check.
Check.
Don't break your ankles now.
Oh no. Okay, that's a 10.
Also, I have a question.
Yes.
What was Landon's reaction to seeing Tizer?
Good question. That's up for you to decide. But
I don't even know what it looks like.
you are not falling over, and you currently have a giant Komodo dragon hat. Now then. You two were gonna say something? Sorry.
I don't even know what Kaiser looks like.
Tizer's a pallid elf.
Oh damn.
Looks like me, but tall.
Well, fucking I look like you but tall, so
He could be our brother.
could be,
no.
but
Oh no.
I should probably send a picture of him.
Are you two talking amongst yourselves?
yeah.
Did he come outside?
Yes.
Because I'm outside.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wanna
Right after.
I wanna go upstairs.
Okay.
What do I find?
You see that Bema and Dolan have opened a giant, freaking massive vault.
The fuck is that?
Like it's about as big as one of the buildings is outside.
He's gonna ask, "Dear Tiefling, for the hell is that?"
Cheap pulls the cigarette out of her mouth. This is just a little bit of quarry from when we were on our adventuring days.
I see.
Inside the vault, you see that it is pretty much stacked with a king's fortune worth of items.
Good God. I see you've been hiding your real stock in the back.
Yeah, a lot of this is cursed.
Interesting.
For right
why-
now, we are just simple shopkeepers.
For why does one keep so much cursed things in the back?
Well, let's just say that there's not many people who could happily handle this. You hear a growling from inside of the vault.
Interesting. Can I make an Arcana check on the cursed vault?
Uh-huh.
Arcana. Nat 20 plus 3.
Okay. There's some very famous magical items in that vault. Namely,
Tell me the names.
there's a golden fleece sitting up top.
Any others you can tell me?
That's the one that sticks out the most. Everything else is in a giant treasure pile.
Dear madam, for I do believe there are a few items that I can recognize. One of those being your golden fleece. An excellent Excellent legendary item, I might say.
She glares at you for a moment. Do you have some business with that fleece?
Well, through my adventuring days, I might have seen it once or twice, but where it sits upon your vault, let's just say it is within my knowledge of its existence.
Well, as long as you aren't here to steal it.
I have no such inquiry to.
So, she goes inside, and Dolan is standing outside by the door. She picks up a very large staff and hands it to him. There you go. You know what to do. So, she heads over to the window and opens it. Dolan peeks his head out, seeing Sapphire, Tizer, Bone, and Honey, and sticks the staff out the window.
Oh, do not fry my friends, or I will turn your friend into minced chicken.
First and foremost, if you were to try to, I'm pretty sure he might turn you into spare parts. Secondly, she goes ahead and nods at Dolan, and the giant clump of golden sand turns into a very large ball as he just effortlessly picks it up with the staff.
Thank you.
I could very well drop it on your friends, but you are paying customers.
Is there a price for any of your cursed items within your vault, madam? Beyond the payment of souls, that is.
She gives you a grin and just walks right up to you, smiling as she just leans forward into your ear. Maybe a different time in a different place. Make an insight.
Okay. Passive insight or insight? Because my passive insight's 15.
No, an actual insight.
Fuck 8. Never mind.
Her words are befuddling, and you do not know what she means.
Can I make
She immediately...
Oh, I was gonna try to make a persuasion to see if I could convince her on a bit more information.
You can attempt to. She's not quite down the stairs yet. She's closing the vault, though.
Okay. $24.
So you're asking her for more information. Well, you do seem nice, but time travelers tend to be troublesome.
Ooh, you minx, you. Aren't you a keen eye?
I'm a lot of things.
But that would make me a juxtaposition. He's gonna stand at the doorway. Might you be a person we know in the future, then?
I can't say that I have met you. But through my travels, you definitely have that air about you. Now, if you don't mind getting out of my way, she's gonna make an athletics check.
I was gonna let her pass. I
Okay.
wasn't gonna stand in her way. I was just gonna let her pass.
Okay, because I thought you were standing in the door. Okay, no problem.
I was just kind of like standing there, like, kind of like slumped up against the side. Really, no.
Yes. This is... yeah. Okay, so...
I do want to inquire about one thing.
Yeah.
I still have that Cerberus Assembly bounty.
Mm-hmm.
Madam, I do have a question for you, though, since you are an adventurer of sorts.
Yes?
Where might I find the starting of a cult you might have heard of? They do seem to be fairly recent round these parts. They would be called the Cerberus Assembly, I believe. Or Cerberus Occult, rather.
Ah, no wonder that bloody patron was on my counter. Why are you around with Vecna and his folly?
Oh, I just hear of the certain occult going round, and it might be in my interest to know where their origins start.
Well, the Empire up north would be your best bet, and I'm assuming, not that I'm a time traveler myself, that would still be the case wherever you're from.
You do have a keen eye, mistress.
She shrugs. She's seen plenty. At this point, nothing really surprises her.
But let us not make paradoxes.
Agreeable. Dolan has fallen out the window on top of the giant treasure pile. But happily, everything is out of your way. Bone, you can happily collect your stuff.
Huzzah.
He's gonna hand her a bottle of orange liqueur. Take this as a future gift. Something you can't experience here.
She's gonna go ahead and unscrew the top and just take a full swig of it.
It's the high quality stuff.
Paradoxes never tasted so sweet. Constitution saving throw for Bema. 18. She is okay-ish. Little tipsy.
I'm gonna just follow her down.
Okay. So now that the rest of you are relatively okay, the door is unblocked. Are you going to leave?
Since they have a really big
I'm
vault,
going to try to leave after we pick up the gold.
Okay. Bone, what were you saying?
since they have a big vault, can I ask Bema if they would be able to trade all of the jewels for gold? Or do we establish that it was just gold?
I mean, do you know there's a vault?
Make a perception, because the window.
In general, I just want to ask her anyway if I could exchange it for like a lighter load.
That all depends on if you saw that there was a vault.
I didn't see it. I was outside.
Which is why I'm asking you to make a perception, because the window was open. You might
Okay.
have heard.
That's a 7.
You know what? I'll be nice and give it to it anyway. She's gonna come out and offer instead.
Nice.
We have plenty more room, and this looks to be more than your little bag of holding could probably manage.
Appreciate it. If there's
Boy,
a way
it's
you
a spice bag of holding.
Yeah, you don't want to put this in the spice bag of holding. I don't think you can eat gold.
I mean, the bag of holding does have a weight limit. It's a very high weight limit, but it does have one.
Let me
It'll
see.
just make it easier for me to manage if I was able to convert it and keep it in a small amount.
This is true. So let me see really quick. How much it actually was.
Just want to say, I just remade Deimos's image because of all this new shit. So,
Goody
I'm gonna
good.
fill that in a second.
Feel free to post it.
A bag of holding can only hold 500 pounds of something. It cannot exceed 500 pounds or 64 cubic meters.
Okay. So. It's 50,000 gold. So she's going to go ahead and give you, I believe it's platinum to gold is 1,000, right?
Yep.
10 GP is 1 plat.
10 GP is 1 plat. Okay.
You could do electrum. 100 electrum is 1 plat.
100 electrum is 1 plat, but it's not all that low.
Still be better.
You know what? This will be better. She's gonna go ahead and give you it in gems, like actual gems. So you now have 50 gems, and they are self-aware currency. So what I mean by that is if someone sees them and you want to trade with them, they understand what it's worth.
Cool.
That'll
Thank
be
you.
Non-inflation.
I
gems.
appreciate it. Cool.
Okay, so are the rest of you leaving? She's gonna close up shop too, so
I shall be taking with my party, but do have a wonderful time, madam.
she's gonna go ahead and, as she's shooing Deimos out the door, she's picked him up and she's just kind of carrying him out. I'm assuming Ishmael too, one per hand.
Nice.
They're going to go ahead and lock up. Well, I mean, I do have to enjoy the festival too. Are you staying or no?
We should be staying, madam. Would you care to enjoy us? We're heading over to the armor shop very soon. If you care to join our motley group.
I suppose we have nothing better to do. Dolan is very quietly just laying on the floor after all of falling out of the window. She picks him up and just is carrying him like a suitcase.
I want to make a performance check to like kind of. I want to play my harp and flute.
Okay.
Kind of play, kind of like match the festival's tunes, but amplify it through me.
Okay. Also,
20.
Ooh, very nice. So you actually managed to keep on beat with the sound that you can hear inside the square. There is a band playing. It was not normally something that you knew how to play, but for whatever reason, you right away take to the tune. That's wonderful. So, as the rest of you head out, do you want to visit either shop that is next to Bema's? There was a cafe and a small restaurant. But it's up to you.
Is there a cloak shop anywhere?
Yeah.
The armory.
I want a new cloak.
I can
Go to the
always
armory.
escort you to the actual clothing store if you want.
I want something with magic.
That would be the armor shop.
Yes, that's the next one. This is why I put on a cool outfit.
Okay.
I want
So-
something to help me up myself.
She is gonna go ahead and escort you out of the little alleyway that you have all been in. And as you turn the corner to go to the armor shop, everybody make a perception.
Perception. Nice. Nice.
I'll start from the lowest.
7.
Hey,
I got a 7.
6.
I honestly
Damn.
thought I'd be the lowest. What the fuck, guys?
I rolled a 1.
I got a 22.
God
I got a
damn.
30.
Damn.
Okay. Someone got a 1, right?
Ishmael, we're rolling perception checks.
Okay.
I rolled a 1 plus 5 for 6.
I rolled a natural 20 for a 30.
Spicy.
I rolled a 16 plus 6.
Living in
22.
progress, baby.
26.
Love you, Ishmael. Thank you.
Okay. So starting from the bottom, you had a 1, I think a 6 and a 7 and an 8.
And an 8, yep.
So from the 1, Rock looked cute.
Ha!
Yeah, you're just kind of staring at your feet. At
Stare at
a
my
single
ass.
cobblestone, and Honey is also simultaneously staying at the same stone, as if like mesmerized by it.
There's a bug under there.
He's
Should
now
check.
trying to lift it.
Maybe there's worm.
Maybe there's
He's
a
trying to
fish.
dig through the cobblestone.
It's a rock.
Oh.
I'm
Wait,
gonna...
the 26, I see that it's a rock.
Damn.
No. That's the first thing. Who rolled in the teens?
I rolled a 30.
Yeah.
Deimos got an 8.
Okay.
That's a thick rock.
So he can't dig through the. He does not dig through this cobblestone, but he's trying. So for the people who rolled higher, you see that the armor shop is across the way, about 60 feet down the street, on the other side of the street.
Right.
It is starting to get dark, and people are turning on lights in front of their shops. Now, for who got 20s and 30s?
I did.
I did.
I did.
You notice that there's a couple figures in black clothes with their hood up, and as they approach, it's a pair of people. They are down a little bit past the armor shop, and as they're reaching for the store handle, the light goes on that would have turned on in front of their place like everyone else, and they recoil back immediately. They look like they are in pain.
Oh, seems sus.
Yeah, that looks kind of
Oh,
suspicious, if I would say so
Also,
myself.
don't mean to interrupt. Everyone who can hear my performance, roll a d6. You gain back some health.
Okay.
Okay.
Is that all of us?
Temporary hit
Yes.
points.
Temporary hit points. Just good. Just good. But let's see.
Nice.
As you notice this, the pair, the shorter one in the black cloak looks up at the taller one, who's the one who actually got hurt, quote unquote, by the light, and the taller one shakes their head, and they start going down another alleyway that looks quite a bit darker than the one that you were just in. Looks like they're going down some kind of stairs.
Hmm.
Kind of
Yeah.
sucks.
That looks like something that we should ignore, but are we going to?
Possibly.
I would like to follow them, but to do that, I would probably have to break away from the party, and I'm not doing that. Because I'm
That's fair.
possibly the one with the highest stealth, so I could probably follow them without being noticed.
I could probably put Sanctuary on you too, just in case they like try to hit you or something.
If the party wants to wait on the top of the stairs, I can follow them down.
Yeah, I don't mind.
I want to do something to help you, Saphir.
Okay.
Bardic Inspiration?
Both Dolan and Bema are also looking at this too. They let out a sigh. It's fine.
Who are they?
They look at the rest of
I
you.
want... Oh, sorry.
You look a little bit troubled, right?
Dear Saphir, could I have your hand?
I guess. I'll give him my hand.
I want to try to make a tattoo on her hand of confusion.
Okay. What's that do?
16.
16 for what?
So, you now have a shadowy tattoo on your hand, and you can use confusion without a spell slot.
Okay.
But you gotta
What's that
activate
do?
it. Confusion the spell.
What's that do? Sorry, Matson.
So, confusion is this spell will assault and twist a creature's mind, spawning delusions and provoking uncontrolled action. Each creature in a 10-foot radius and sphere must, on a centered point you choose within range of a succeeding wisdom saving throw, when you cast the spell, is affected by it. So they
Okay.
can either, a creature, if they get a 1, they gotta roll a d10. If a creature rolls a 1, movement of a random, they get to move in a random direction. 2 through 6, a creature doesn't move or take actions. 7 through 8, the creature uses an action to make a melee attack against a random determined creature. And 9 through 10, a creature can act and move normally.
It's a little bit of a helpful getaway tool. Okay.
Fair enough.
Do you want
I-
Sanctuary, Sapphire?
I think I'm okay. Don't waste your spell slot. I think I'll be
Okay.
fine.
I'll
If
save
anything,
Sanctuary for later.
I'm pretty sure I can go invisible.
As Sapphire goes ahead to stealth, are you doing a stealth right now?
Yes.
Okay. While you're doing that,
Sorry.
what'd you get?
A natural 20 for 32.
Nice.
Going nice and sneakity sneak.
I'm
The
under
rest of
the
the party
pedal.
is happily aware that you know where you've gone, because they just helped you prep. You are able to go down the street very quickly. They are almost out of line of sight, but you just manage to turn the corner as they disappear. The rest of you, are you going with her, or are you going to the armor store?
I'm gonna go to the armor
I thought we
store.
were staying at the top of the stairs.
What, Landon?
I thought we were staying at the top of the stairs.
You can do whatever you want to.
Remember what
I-
splitting the party does. Just keep that in mind.
I know.
It's
feel
not
that
an
we're-
instantaneous thing.
I
It's a thing
feel-
over time.
I feel that we're in a safe enough place and we can easily reach her if we choose to go off. I
This
trust
is
her.
true.
She's prepped with a confusion spell, at least to Ludwig's knowledge. So if she needs to make a getaway, she can most certainly do so.
So what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna go in the shop.
Yeah, okay.
I wonder if I could get plate armor.
I wonder if I could get my armor integrated.
Update for you: you can probably, at the minimum, take my half plate. It gives 15 plus 2. If you have 2 decks.
I wonder if I can.
I do have 2. Oh, that's probably actually good because I wouldn't have to have disadvantage on stealth, right?
Oh, you'd still have disadvantage on stealth.
Never mind then.
I wonder if someone can make my iron armor steel so I can buff my AC by 1.
My goodness.
I would love to see if they have any clothing that just provides resistance and no AC benefits.
Well, as a warforge, it'd be nice to have something built out of sturdier stuff.
Okay.
I'm at for me.
Bone Ishmael, are you going to or no?
I mean, if I'll be able to get plate armor, then yeah.
Okay. Bone?
Yes.
Are you going to the armor store, or are you waiting on top of the stairs?
I'm gonna wait on the stairs. But I want to go to the armor shop. But
We can go to the armor shop when I'm back, because I'm also going to the armor shop.
that's true. Yeah, I'm gonna wait on the stairs.
So you're gonna chill there. That's fine.
Miss
Actually,
Oh,
also,
could I-
before I go, I will tell Tyser to stay with them.
Okay.
He doesn't fucking be a dumbass and follow me down.
Oh, also, if Sapphire's gonna make her way back, then I'll just wait with Bone.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask if the tiefling will follow us.
Yeah. She'll go ahead and go with you.
Excellent.
She notices you all following the cloaked figures. Why trouble them more than they already are?
Curiosity.
She's nosy.
So, if no one's gonna say anything else,
What?
Just gonna enter
Sorry?
the shop.
okay. Bema's gonna go with you, and so is Dolan. The shop. I'm gonna cut over to Sapphire really quick.
Okay.
Just try and make herself.
Yeah.
As you start to go down these stairs unseen, you see both figures manage to knock on a door. There is someone on the other side. They roll open a small slit, and they do seem to be having some kind of conversation. They open the door and let these two in before immediately closing it.
Did I hear what they were saying?
Perception.
$19. I did roll a 9, but I have a +10, so.
Okay. Again, I told you to go out before earlier. Well, we needed some urgent supplies, so I had to do what I had to do. But it is what it is. We weren't expecting it. I'm healing though. That's when he opens the door and actually lets the two in.
Can I snoop around the shop and see, or like around the door and see what it is?
It did very quickly get closed. You might be able to get a peek before it closes.
Sure.
It's a very large cobblestone tunnel. It's not a shop.
Okay.
And it looks like after you've gone down the stairs, it also looks like there's a bit of a drop-off to what looks like another set of stairs.
Mm.
It's lit by torches, and it is rather dark aside from that. It's got a very kind of like sepia tone all the way throughout.
Okay. I'm not going down there by myself.
Yeah. It's catacomby.
Ew. I'll go back up, and I'll relay the information to the rest of them.
Okay.
Are we going into the shop or not?
We are.
Yeah,
Yes.
you're in the shop now.
We're in the shop.
Yeah.
Great. Can I ask? I would like to see some clothing that is good for resisting.
Good for resisting, huh?
Pulls out bondage gear. I'm just kidding.
Absolutely for resistance.
Oh god.
Do not resist my hands.
Just tighten it a little extra. Muscle resistance. But we do have certain types of armor here. We do have some specials as well. You would have to be a little bit more specific about what you're asking for.
I would not care if it provides protection to be heat, like it gives me armor. I just want something that looks nice and like resistance to like resistance to cold damage or some shit.
They do
It
have
wants to be
armor
one.
resistance.
But like, does it provide an AC bonus?
A mild one.
Yeah, if that's the case, then no. I want it without the armor. That way I can be unarmored, technically speaking, and get the benefit from my tattoo.
They have... This is an armor shop, and you're asking for something that doesn't have armor.
I mean, it's resistance. It's kind of armor. Mages use this.
True.
Because wizards don't have armor proficiency, but they get these kinds of clothing.
So magic armor is what you're asking in the long run.
Exactly.
That does not add to your AC.
That's kind of hard.
Yes.
Because most magic armor will always add by at least 1.
Yeah. Some kind of AC. Unfortunately, I have to say no. We do have certain types of clothing that might suit your needs.
That works.
So, what they have is a myriad of magic items and clothing instead. You notice 2 things in particular. There is some kind of apron.
That would fuck if you wore that.
I heard my favorite word. Keep going.
And there is a very light shirt.
Keep going.
It does look like it provides some resistance, but not necessarily anything fantastic.
What these?
We have one thing I can think of. Our specials at this shop are actually glamour weave.
Ooh. I'm sorry.
This sounds nice. What kind of glamour?
The young shopkeep goes to the back and pulls a lever. as the lever drops, you hear a bunch of gears whirring, and a large pole just sticks out of the wall next to your head.
Whoa.
It is covered in a myriad of dresses, shirts, and the like, all of glamour weave in various rarities. The common ones appear to be the color of the lanterns, and the uncommon ones replicate the sunset over the horizon on the beach shore, changing from orange to black to yellow.
So they just look pretty.
They look pretty on top of the fact that they are casting some kind of illusion magic. They actually move.
Interesting. Can I know what that light shirt does? The apron and these overall?
So the apron is bloodstained. It does look very used. He does mention that it was a hand-me-down, but it does not suit him.
Okay.
It is made of leather. It is made for a very large individual, and it does look as though it's seen some combat.
I mean, with the blood stains and all.
Yes.
Could be a butcher.
I mean, yeah, it could be a butcher.
Can I do like an Arcana check or something?
Either an Arcana or a History.
I mean, either or, it's a +0, but let's see, Arcana.
Okay.
That's a 3. I know nothing.
Could you make an Insight?
An Insight?
Mm-hmm.
That's a 17.
Okay. This is a butcher's bib.
Mm-hmm.
So, butcher's bib is a very interesting item. It's pretty much made for warriors. This black leather apron is perpetually covered in blood. Even after being washed off, you gain the following benefits while wearing the apron. Once per turn, when you roll a damage for a melee attack with a weapon, you can re-roll the damage dice, and if you do so, you must use the second total. Secondly, your weapon attack that deals slashing damage can score a critical hit on a roll of 19 or 20 instead of a d20.
That would be beautiful. Holy shit.
Oh,
I would.
wow.
What are the other ones? Hold on.
So, the other one, the light shirt, is a type of glamour weave, but it looks like it has been spell infused, possibly by Bema. It does look very similar to the tattoos that you have gotten, but it does have a very interesting symbol on it. It looks like a symbol of resistance. It's got a 5-star prong on it in the chest area.
Interesting. And the other glamour weaves, they just they look moving.
So the common glamour weaves do give you a little bit of oomph when you're trying to make charisma or persuasion checks. You get a 1d4 die whenever you're trying to do those checks when you're wearing a glamour weave. The more uncommon glamour weaves, those ones that are covered in like the illusion magic, you can actually use to bewilder enemies. Can kind of distract them, give them disadvantage, the like, as well as persuasion performance on top of that.
So it's like a boost to charisma.
Mm-hmm.
Is it a permanent?
It's also
boost,
notably the festival wear. That's why they're selling it right now.
Is it like a permanent boost, or is it just a roll 1d4 to add a boost?
It's a 1d4 boost to whatever roll you're trying to make on the persuasion or it's persuasion or something else.
Ludwig is
I feel like that is definitely Ludwig style.
Yeah, so Ludwig is
persuasion performance. There we go.
Ask, for how much would this charisma boosting glamour weave you speak of?
The shopkeep gives you a little bit of a scoff. Do Warforged wear clothes?
He scoffs back at him since he's wearing a suit. since he's wearing a fine tailored suit. You
When did you get
dare?
tailored?
You dare to say that I would strut my metal ass around as naked?
I mean,
I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
Of course.
you have before. I've seen way too much of you.
You have seen nothing of the sort.
Let's see. So
For
they do have yeah.
For I do wear clothing.
My apologies, dear sir. Yes, that would be fine.
I do want the butcher.
You do want the butcher's bib? Okay.
Yes.
Butcher's bib would be 100 gold.
I look in my pocket. I look at the bib. I look in my pocket. I look at Bone. Bone. Could you please assist?
Am I with you guys?
You are.
I thought so.
No, you aren't. You're on the. You're in the alley.
I'm on the stairs.
No, Bone and I are on the stairs.
God fucking damn it. Stop fucking
Sucks.
buy this bib.
I
know
went
what?
back, guys.
I think
Yeah.
you look.
I'm like in the shop.
Yeah,
I
I
think-
still went back with you guys.
Can
so
I
you
try
are.
to?
You're
Can I
all
try
together.
to help Deimos here and like persuade the guy to lower the price? Since it is a hand-me-down. Like, come on, dude.
I think you look great.
I only have 32 gold.
Ooh.
Ooh.
You're gonna have to persuade Bone because the shopkeep ain't budging.
Oh yeah, if I am there, I'll give you the money. I don't mind.
Aw.
Thank you.
You're gonna
Thank
get
you.
How much
all
was
the
it again?
afterwards.
So
I
it's-
will
it's
look
100
ugly, but it will be nice.
It's 100 gold.
100 copy. Oh, no worries.
So you just drop one of the gem pieces on the table. Bone.
Hi. I have gold still. I'll use my actual gold.
Okay. At least that makes less of a scene. So
Yeah, exactly. Keeping it low key for now.
you give him the 100 gold, and he puts on the butcher's bib over Deimos's one horn and just slides it over his head. Also, sir, he tries to pull the mask off your nose. You realize this doesn't fit well.
It wasn't a choice.
He
Right?
snaps.
God
Eh,
decided that I will look like a dragon for the rest of my life, and here I am.
You
I don't know which god, but I'm going to kill him.
Can I use minor illusion to make it look like the mask fits?
You could try. I mean, they could also try and just get it fitted to his face since you're at the store here.
It's a he can adjust the size of the mask while I'm wearing it.
True. Yes.
I'm gonna use minor illusion to make it look like it fits him.
They also, I feel compelled to tell you, they have multiple kinds of shields on the wall too, if you so choose.
Do they have weapons?
Armor shop.
I wanna just ask him how much the glamour weave is.
So the glamour weave, because it's a special occasion, is only 10 gold.
How much now does? Okay, I have a question here. If I wear one piece of it, is that one buff, or if I wear two pieces, is that two buffs?
They come in only one piece style. They're very much similar to a hakama.
Okay. Okay. Now, are there two separate kinds of glamour weave?
There's the common and the uncommon, which are what I mentioned before, as well as the one that Deimos was looking at, which does seem to be custom made.
Can you stack them?
No.
Okay. I shall get the charisma boosting one. How much is it? Is it 10 gold?
10. Yep.
He's gonna place 10 gold pieces down.
Okay, so you get a uncommon piece of glamour weave.
I'm I'm gonna...
Does he have hide?
Hide?
Yeah, like hide armor.
Hide armor. I have a couple of things, but I'm not familiar with hide. Oh, wait a minute. While he's looking for that, he goes to the back to try and look for what you're looking for.
Is this a custom item?
No, Glamour Weave is a regular item.
Because the only thing that's coming up for me is glamored studded leather.
Glamer.
Oh, I've been custom making every single item. Not a joke.
Oh, have you? Okay.
GLEA.
It's this. Hold on. I'll stick it inside the D&D, the actual campaign thing.
Okay.
The items list.
Because this will be relatively useful for everyone. If you wanted to fit in at the festival overall,
Dog, there's a whole channel called items list.
Oh, is there?
Yes,
Sure.
that's where I put the messaging tattoo.
I'm smart. Okay, there you go.
Speaking
Results
of
not
glamour weave,
found.
Well, in that case, you can always just stick it in as a custom item. It's not big.
Can I ask him if he has any type of cloaks that help on stealth? And maybe give a boost to your armor?
Cloaks. We do have a couple of cloaks. Unfortunately, invisibility is not something we want to carry, for fear of robbers.
Oh, I'm not asking for invisibility. I'm just asking for something that gives me a boost in stealth.
We do have a cloak of Elvenkind.
I mean, I am an elf.
So while you wear this cloak with its hood up, wisdom perception checks made to see you have disadvantage, and you have advantage on dex to make stealth checks.
How much?
That would be 50.
Okay. And do you have any studded leather +2?
We do have studded leather. We actually have glamored studded leather, so that should be relatively helpful.
What does that do? How much?
So it is like the glamour weave, but also it adds. You gain +1 to AC. You can also take the bonus action to speak the armor's command word, cause the armor to assume the appearance of a normal set of clothing or some other kind of armor. You decide what it looks like, including color, style, and accessories, but the armor retains its normal bulk. The illusory appearance lasts until you use the property again or take off the armor. In general, it would be a studded leather set. So, on top of that.
Okay.
So is that a no on the hide?
So that would be what they have in terms of that. Let me see.
I would like to... How much for the
Sadly,
glamour...
they don't have hide.
How much for the glamour studded leather?
That one would be 50.
I would like to buy that.
Okay.
Is there any way, Ishmael's cloak, is there any way I can give it like a self-cleaning property along with that glamour weave?
Of course. That's fine.
Okay. He would like both because it's his precious coat and he loves it very much.
The shopkeep gives you a smile. He can see how much the cloak actually means to you. I'll go ahead and do that for free.
Oh, thank you, sir. You're just a godsend, really. This cloak is probably the only thing I have left of my old home.
I want to...
And
oh, sorry.
he hands it over
You
because...
get +2 for your cloak.
Oh. Okay.
So you do manage to get +2 for your AC.
Oh, so...
It being self-cleaning.
Okay, what about the glamour weave?
And yes, it is infused with the same illusion magic as the glamour weave.
Okay. Wait, so does that mean, because I have my armor and then I have my cloak, but I always wear my coat. It's kind of like his clothing. So do I just add the 2 AC onto the cumulative bonus?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to create a magic item for that real quick.
So does he have a +2 studded leather armor?
He's got the. Are you talking about the glamour studded?
No, I'm just talking about regular plus shoe studded leather.
They do not carry the regular stuff. Let me see. Hold on.
I would like to ask when she's done a question.
Yeah.
When she's done.
Yes, when she's done.
Okay.
I'm guessing my item is of rarity.
You know what? Actually, yes. I will say that they do have the regular stuff as well. They do have hide. They do have regular plate mail. They have the rest as up to +2.
So wait, you said
Okay.
they do have hide?
They do have hide.
And I will
Okay.
say it counts as an attunement slot just because, like, it's like his sort of thing.
Exactly. It's a custom item. You know, should be.
Yeah.
fine. It makes sense.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, they do have it.
How much?
So for both types of armor, I'll say 30.
I just want the regular plus shoe studded leather.
I know. I'm telling Landon too. Like for
Okay.
the hide armor he wanted, it would also be 30.
All right, I'll take both the cloak and the armor.
Okay.
What's the cloak's
Um,
name for the equipment?
It's the cloak of
Okay.
elven kind. They do have a few other cloaks as well. Some of them seem to be less useful than others. Anyone want anything?
Oh, huh?
Anyone looking for anything specific?
Yes. I am looking for. So Ludwig would be looking for as is, he is a warforged. He can wear armor, but he would specifically be looking for if they have a forger or some way they could replace the plating of his armor to make it bulkier.
Okay.
He's made of iron, so he's kind of looking like if someone could like replace it with steel or replace like his plates with like a different set of armor to make himself like bulkier.
Okay. Give me just a moment.
Would need like a forger, artificer, or expertise in smithing.
He knocks on a door that's directly behind him. And it cracks open just a tiny bit. What do you want now? We've got a warforged here that seems to want a custom plate set. Tell him to come in the back. I can't pull out all my equipment out there. The door shuts very hard. Yeah, we have a smith in the back. He looks at you with an a sense of exasperation as he pulls open the little half door. Feel free.
He's gonna walk back.
The door opens and Ludwig immediately gets pulled inside quickly.
Could I just try and sell my old leather armor to him? I don't want much for it. I'm just over carrying capacity.
Oh, I just realized I still have my half plate. I would love to sell that and get rid of that shit.
Okay. All of that's fine. Oh, did you want anything? I think you're the only one who didn't ask, right?
Yeah, I'm still thinking.
Okay.
I'm just not super familiar with clothing item types in D&D, so I don't even know what to start looking for.
Well, what do you want?
What class are you in? You're a ranger, right?
Yeah, I'm a ranger.
You can do light armor, right?
Yeah.
And medium armor, I think.
Yeah, light and medium.
Medium generally has stealth with disadvantage, but like, so if you focus on trying to get like, I don't know, armor that either provides bonuses but is still light armor, or like just something that helps you out, that could definitely be cool.
They have Elven Chain.
There you go. That's light armor.
That would work.
And it's quite useful.
Or scale armor. Elven chain, scale armor is pretty good.
Also,
Are you just looking to up your AC, or are you looking for anything else specific, like to add to your repertoire? It's all up to that.
I mean, my studded leather that I already have is 13 AC. But if there's like any boots or bracers that could help with other things like dex, stealth, or what do you call it? Like damage with.
There should be. There might be bracers of elven bracers of elven kind. Those are
They have boots of elven kind. That's for sure.
bracers of archery. That's what I was thinking of.
Bracers of archery. Interesting.
It's not that uncommon. It's an uncommon item, so it's not that rare. It just gives you a +2 to range attacks and damage.
Okay.
I'll be right back, guys.
So
Yeah, that'd be useful.
Yeah, especially for a ranger. But if you're melee, I don't know about the boot to speed could also be useful.
personally, I would recommend maybe getting some, maybe like if you can find like a cloak of shadows or a cloak of protection, that would be really good.
Cloak of protection is nice. Cloak of
I'm looking up all this as you guys are suggesting them because I don't know what any of these are.
Okay, so like a cloak of protection would add more to your AC, and a cloak of shadows would allow you to dodge things point blank.
A cloak of protection just gives you a +1 to AC in general.
So hold on. The shopkeep is gonna go ahead and lean over to you. You seem a little lost. What exactly would you find useful?
Honestly, this is my first time trying to actually buy equipment rather than taking it off corpses. So I'm not really sure.
Scary.
Not that I loot bodies. Hee hee.
That's okay, Bone. We kind of already knew.
You could also get a cloak of bellowing,
which does absolutely nothing.
No, while wearing
You
this
can
cloak,
use
you
an
can use a
action.
bonus action to make it bellow dramatically.
Yeah.
I love that. That's so funny.
That's all it does. It's really
It's a common item. It's not even like it's magical, but it's the most common magical item.
That's so funny.
It's really nice.
They have that here. I'm just letting you know.
Oh, good.
They have it everywhere.
It's kind of like Magikarp in the Pokemon world, or Caterpie.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
No one wants it, and it's pretty shit.
Excuse me.
I want it.
They have
Oh,
that
same
with
brain
Cloak of
cell.
many fashions. So
Same brain cell.
Single
Oh yeah, the cloak of many fashions can change color, can't it?
Cloak of many fashions can change into whatever you want it to change into.
It doesn't have any other magical properties.
Yes, it's just for looks.
Very good for like rogues or.
Yeah, it's good for
bards.
deception. It's very good for deception.
Cloak of the Bat is pretty fun.
But in terms of what they have that might suit you, they do have bracers of archery, which is fairly decent. They have boots of striding and springing, which they bring your movement speed up to 30, even if you're encumbered.
Let me send you links for this. Hold on. I'm going to send them in general.
Okay. Boots of Elvenkind, which helps you with your stealth checks.
Wait, Boots of Elvenkind?
Yes.
Got it.
I mean, if they had Hellforge armor, that'd be super useful to her.
Is Hellforge heavy or light? I thought it was heavy.
It's technically it suits to you in your armor class. It doesn't matter what your armor class is; you can wear it.
Interesting.
I don't see it here.
The only
they
thing that you
do not have it though.
If you're the only thing is a wizard or warlock or sorceress cannot wear it.
The shopkeep also gives you a little bit of a devilish grin. I see that Pallid Elf giving you a look every so often, and I do assume that you want to spice things up ever so slightly with someone so small.
Go on.
Well,
So he pulls out
Excuse me, the fuck what now?
a large pair of handcuffs
Oh my god.
I'm leaving. I don't want to. I don't want to know what my sister does.
You have a back room.
Be
I
tying,
try those out.
she'd be tying the
These-
dog up.
These are dimensional shackles.
Oh.
So, if you can put these on as like regular shackles,
BDSM forever.
someone would have to try and do DC 30 strength check to get out of them.
Oh.
Hey,
On top of that,
I have a huge beneficial item for you if you want it. If our GM allows it. Living armor. It can be of any armor type. It just provides +1 to AC and resistance to 1 damage type. And it can be any type of armor, but it is alive. And
I
it
would
will be
say living armor for something that is not in the shop,
Question for
just
you,
because
Lex.
it's rather special. Yes.
Would the revenge armor that Oberon's wearing in the other quest work?
It's more heavy. I mean, it could, but
Because that's another
bringing
one that
down
can,
her.
That's another one that
health
conforms to their armor class.
Possibly, but hold up before I forget, the dimensional shackles. The thing that's very special about them is if something was trying to teleport, go across planes for any reason, it can't.
All right. Fair enough.
So, I thought you would want to know that. It's here.
Are we
if you
able to
said-
try that out?
if you
Alone?
wanted-
I'll take him.
Oh boy. Chain the dog up.
Yeah, I'll buy the handcuffs. And you said one of they had the boots of elven kind.
They have the boots of elven kind, and there's one last thing that might be useful to a lot of people. It's an efficient quiver.
No.
Oh my god, yes, Daddy. Sorry. I need that.
Demonetized.
I'm guessing it's for everybody that shoots something.
Yeah.
I'll shoot my load.
Oh boy.
The efficient. Shit.
Just let me reload
You're
real
way
quick
too happy
here.
about this. I hate it.
Mommy,
I
let me
wasn't
reload
expecting
real
Bone
quick.
to have a whole ass fucking orgasm. Damn.
Right?
I need it. I need to store all of my shit that I'm shooting out.
She needs to reload on her load. Give her a minute.
I'm done. Talk to you.
Rainbow Dash cum jar.
Mom, I'm
Oh
God. Instantly demonetized.
Alright.
Instantly demonetized.
Sorry.
Mom, pick me up. I'm scared.
I need to uncringe from my welded desk right now.
So anyway,
So the efficient quiver is an uncommon, wondrous item.
Sonic cum jars where it's at.
Of the quiver's 3 compartments connects to an extra-dimensional space, just like the bag of holding. It's allowed to hold numerous items while never weighing more than 2 pounds. The shortest compartment can hold up to 60 arrows, bolts, or similar objects. The midsize can do 18 javelins or similar objects. And the longest compartment can hold 6 long objects, such as bows, quarterstaffs, or spears.
yeah, I'll take one of those too.
And just to let you know, it is not limited to those things. You can also stick other things as long as they're relatively the same size and shape.
So, Safi.
Hey, question.
Yes.
Do they have winged boots?
They do actually have winged boots.
Interesting. That allows you to fly, guys.
Ooh, I would potentially maybe like those.
For 4 hours.
Flying cleric boy.
So they have 2 sets of winged boots.
How much do they cost?
Those are 50 each.
50 each. Okay, and how much would I have to pay for plate armor?
The plate armor. Are you just getting regular plate armor? +1, +2?
Can I get +2?
That will go up to 70.
Okay, I will totally do that. I will buy those. I will buy those boots and that plate armor +2.
Okay.
And I will sell my chainmail armor.
I do want to sell my
And I want to give the rest of my gold as a tip.
So,
Oh.
I would like to ask when I come back out if they have any rings, but I'm not out yet.
Oh, yes. Two things really quick. They have hats as well.
That's...
They have hat of disguise, hat of vermin, and hat of wizardry.
They just have...
I don't like hats though. That's,
Okay.
I wish I liked hats.
So,
And the other thing that you hear is loud clanking from the back. And
except I haven't made a request yet.
I thought you were already doing your request.
No, because I didn't get to talk to him.
Okay, well, not quickly.
So,
He's at his desk, rummaging around.
for I would like a new plate to increase my armor.
Okay. He's half listening to you while rummaging through his tools. No, not that. No. Maybe. You were saying?
For I was wondering if you could increase my armor by replacing my plates.
Is that all?
Well, what else could you do with my plates? Not many have the proficiency to maneuver a warforge.
He looks at his kiln in the back, and he pulls out off of the ceiling, which has been hanging there, a very large saw. How much time do you have?
What do you want to do to me?
Roll a persuasion.
Persuasion.
Buddy boy.
16.
Okay. He is persuaded to tell you that he's allowed to make an upgrade to your arm.
Allowed to make an upgrade to my arm?
Yep.
Could you by chance integrate a musket into my arm?
I mean, I could, but what I have planned is probably a bit more useful for your purposes.
Do tell.
It's probably better to show than tell.
I would like to know what I'm paying for before I pay.
If you don't like it, I can always take it off.
You're quite gracious as a host. I shall give you my arm. He's going to, because I'm magical, I can dislocate my arms.
I love that out of context. I could dislocate my arms.
Because I can just...
Alright.
Because I can just pop it off and pop it back on.
So I'm gonna cut to the scene in front right now, from everyone else's perspective.
He just
all
pops
you
his
hear,
arm off and gives him in the arm.
all you hear from the back is a bunch of buzzsaw type of noises and clanking, and mild screaming, possibly grunting, and maniacal laughter.
Oh my god. What is happening to him?
Can I scream out, "Oh yes, pussycat"?
Yes.
I'm gonna roll performance on that one.
Oh good lord.
31.
There's an explosion out of the side of the wall.
Ishmael's gonna fall over.
Oh yes, pussycat.
Good.
I hate my life.
As you... The door finally opens with billowing smoke coming out. You come out looking as though you've had a fantastic time with a prostitute.
Oh my god.
He's just gonna be like, oh, it's been a little bit of like
You are
flustered-faced.
slightly weak in the knees.
That's gross. I'm gonna grab
Meanwhile,
Ishmael's hand.
Deimos is gonna go to the cafe.
I'm gonna grab Ishmael's hand and I'm just gonna follow Deimos.
Now, to actually tell you what happened really quickly. He has installed an arcane propulsion arm.
Oh. Portal gun?
No, it's a prosthetic appendage that was developed by an artificer. It is attached to where your shoulder is. It does have an elbow, wrist, and it has its own shoulder joint. You can take an action to remove the prosthetic if the prosthetic itself is a magic weapon, with which you are proficient. It deals 1d8 force damage on a hit and has the thrown property, with a normal range of 20 feet. When thrown, the propulsion detaches and flies at the target of the attack. You have a rocket fist.
Okay, good to know. Is this an actual item or custom?
Can I call him
It's an actual item. It is an actual item.
What's the name of it?
Arcane propulsion arm.
Can I call him Baymax?
I just love the idea that he can throw his arm, but he can't recall it.
Yeah,
So every time he's gonna throw his arm, and the enemies are gonna take it and be like, "Haha, I have your arm now."
When thrown, the prosthetic detaches and flies at the target of the attack, then immediately returns to you and reattaches. So, it does. But you can also, on top of throwing it, you can also, if you're holding something in your arm, it goes with it.
How much damage does it do?
It's a very fun little tool. I love it.
So it just it blows out as a rocket?
It's basically a rocket arm.
Is it silent or does it make noise?
It's a force damage, so it's more like a punch.
So
I'd say it's held together with the same magic as your Warforged body is.
okay, so it's pretty silent then.
Yeah.
Now, how much damage does the force damage do alone, though?
1d8. Plus your proficiency mod.
Proficiency mod? For...
It's 1d8 plus your proficiency mod.
For strength?
Or
is it spell?
It's not your modifier. It's your proficiency mod.
I don't know what that is.
You should have it on your level thing.
I can't find the item. That's the thing. Because I don't have the Warforged DLC
Again,
anymore, remember?
I custom made all the items. You might want to try doing that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me get it. Hold on.
You can custom make it as a weapon. What's the range of the launcher?
It is 60 feet.
Cool. 60-foot thrown range weapon that does 1d8 plus. I guess that's gonna be interesting because they don't have a proficiency thing there, but you can add that. And then yeah, that's pretty much it. It's not hard. I can make it.
Oh, you can make it?
Yeah, but I can't put it on your character sheet. So if I make a custom thing, I can put it on mine, but I don't know if it works if I make it and then you put it.
That one.
All the ones are not allowed for public view. Thank you, D&D Beyond. Fuck you, D&D Beyond.
So, anyone else want either armor or a helm of some kind?
No.
You want a hat.
What about shields?
They do have shields.
Can I get a +2 shield?
Let me see what they have for shield. Hold on. Boop, 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 boop. They have an animated shield.
Animated shield? Is that like a shield?
While holding the shield, you can speak the command word as a bonus to cause it to animate. The shield leaps into the air, hovers in your space to protect you as if you were wielding it, leaving your hands free. Shield remains animated for a minute.
Okay, well, I'm not using any melee weapons, so I don't really need that.
They do have +2 shields.
How much is that? I do have 120 left because I paid 120, right, and sold my armor for 30 because it's 75. I just rounded down to 30. So
they have one other shield that you might be interested in, which is a spell.
Okay.
While holding this shield, you have advantage on saving throws against spells and other magical effects.
I'm guessing there's no plus to it, like
You
plus blank.
you cut out
A shield?
completely just now for me. What did you say? What shields were available?
Okay. They have up to +2 shields. They have the animated shield and the spell guard shield.
Okay.
The shield is made from wood or metal and is carried in one hand. Wielding the shield increases your armor class by 2. So it is basically a +2 shield.
Wait, wielding it increases your armor class by 2 because a shield +2 is it's +2 bonus +2 more, so it's +4.
Oh, well,
The regular shield, when you hold it, gives you +2 to AC.
hot damn. Okay, no, it's just your regular +2. So it's regular shield. But they do have
Okay.
+2 shield as well.
How much does the +2 shield cost?
30.
Okay. I'll buy that. How much does I mean, do they have a staff of healing here? I'm guessing not.
Hold on.
I don't think that's clothing.
I know, but it's an accessory.
Staff of healing. Staff of healing.
It's a rare item.
They don't sell it, but the shopkeep does.
I'm gonna
They
buy...
don't sell it, but the shopkeep does. So can I buy it off the shopkeep with a little talk?
You can try.
Okay. Hey, Landon, come help me out. I'm gonna get us a staff of healing.
Oh, hell yeah.
I'm gonna buy
Yeah.
the shield, by the way.
Huh? Oh, you wanted the spell shield? Or
No, I was gonna buy the +2 shield.
That's a nat 20.
oh,
Nat 20 plus 7.
whatever you tell him, he pretty much immediately orgasms in his pants and hands you the stuff.
Okay, well, I feel bad, so I'm just gonna give him 90, the other 90 gold I have. What? I don't want to cheat this guy, okay? He gave me
Give
a
him
free
more
clothes.
gold. Gave him more gold than it's worth, but okay.
No, but what I mean is he also gave me like a glamour weaved and +2 bonus cloak.
Hey, question. Is there a cloak of displacement?
There is.
Because this is a beautiful, wonderful, amazing cloak.
Actually, I'll be greedy and only give him 70, not 90, so I get a 20 left.
Also, how much do I get for selling back my half plate?
Oh, same with my leather.
40 for the half plates, and what did you sell, Sapphire?
My leather armor.
20.
Alright.
Not bad. And so a cloak of displacement.
Yes.
How much would it be?
50.
50. Oh, that's enough. I have enough. I have enough. I don't have to ask mommy for money this time.
Okay.
Also, is there anything I could do in D&D Beyond to show that something's stored in a bag of holding? Because it says I'm over encumbered, but like I'm not, because I have like half of my stuff in my bag of holding anyway.
You just don't equip it.
No, but like the inventory things, like rope, hempen, or like oh yeah, you're right. I just don't equip it.
You just don't equip it because it's in the bag of holding.
Yep, there you go.
You're right. Do I just put like stow or something? Yeah. Okay. 1 second.
I'll figure out how to do the rocket hand later. How much for the rocket hand augment?
So, the rocket hand augment, how much do you have left?
Well, I wanted to ask him how much it was. So, how much for this augment, dear sir?
It's the first time in a long time that I've actually been able to stretch my fingers, so to speak. So, 50?
50 works just fine. He's gonna hand him 50 gold.
Okay. In a normal situation, I would say that's probably about 1,000, because that's not a normal thing.
Well, I'll say this, dear sir. Anytime you wish to work on me, just tune me up.
Me and my saws will be waiting.
Now, I want to inquire about the hats.
Yes. Head of Disguise, Head of Wizardry, and... you know what? That's the only two.
Explain each.
Head of Disguise lets you use, well, disguise self. It's plain and simple. Head of Wizardry. Let me have a look quickly. Antiquated cone-shaped hat. Very traditional. You can use it as a spellcasting focus for wizard spells. You can try to cast a cantrip that you don't know. The cantrip must be on the wizard spell list, and you make a DC 10 Intelligence Arcana check. If the check succeeds, you cast the spell. If the check fails, the spell and the action used to cast the spell is wasted. In either event, you can't use this feature again until a long rest.
I want to buy the Hat of Disguise. How much for it?
Okay. 10.
Good enough.
Okay. Is anyone else looking for anything?
Not really.
I do have one last thing that I was going to be looking for.
Okay.
Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
I am taking up quite a bit of time here. Something else that I was looking for in Armor Shop, besides just his plating, is if by chance he could get a, specifically, if... What was it?
Bless you.
I'm sorry.
If
You're good, man?
If the man has
I'm
any
fine, I got to me.
sheet metal... Oh, wait, no, not sheet metal. If he could, turn the immovable rod into an immovable shield. Like to add sheet metal to it.
Interesting. I could attach some onto it, however, it's not going to have the same property as the rest of it, so it might easily get destroyed.
I see. Never mind then. But thank you for at least the attempt.
Not a problem. Now, anything else? Anyone?
I still need to finish purchasing my stuff.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, right.
It's just the dimensional shackles, the
Rings.
efficient quiver, and the boots of Elvenkind.
Rings. Does he have any rings when she's done?
Hold on. Did you want the elven chain too for armor or no?
It looks like it's gonna do the same as my studded leather, so not really.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, all of that in total will be 120.
All right. Boop, boop, boop. There you go.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Okay. Now then, you said rings. Did someone else say something?
No.
Yes, no?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Just rings.
Okay. Boo, 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 boo. Let me have a look.
Any use for the 100-year-old ring?
There is a ring of evasion, a ring of feather falling, and a ring of free action.
I just want to know, after all these items and feats and everything, I am now broken. That's all I have to say.
Oh, and a ring of jumping.
How many rings can you wear on a person?
One.
One ring? Just one per hand?
Yes. Because they require attunement.
What if you have 2 attunement slots?
You could waste them on attunement, I suppose. For the rings. That's fine.
Yeah, in these past 2 sessions, I've already occupied two achievement slots.
You could always, remove the attunement slot and space, replace it with something else that you find that's better, of course. But
I could, but it's kind of hard to get rid of a whole tattoo.
yes, the tattoos I feel like will at least come in handy. But
Wait.
I would like the Ring of Evasion.
Okay.
How much does it cost?
A 50.
That's simple. He's going to give the 50 gold to the man.
Okay. That's the Ring of Evasion. Now, am I missing anything else?
Could you send the rocket arm to me?
I thought I already did.
Oh,
okay.
There it is. Sorry.
Anyone else? Anything? Ishmael, Landon, Sapphire?
No.
Deimos?
I'm good.
Nope.
I think I'm good.
Okay. This shopkeep has finally given you all of your stuff. You have all been fantastic customers, and he gives you all an extra glamour weave just for buying so much of the actual store. He opens the door, escorts you out, and locks the door.
I want to put a glamour weave on Honey.
Let's all just use that free glamour weave on Honey. She'll be freaking stunting.
I don't need my glamour weave. You can do what you want with it.
Wait a minute. I want to use, if we're all going to do that, I want to specifically use my mending cantrip to make sort of like a, you know those Japanese dresses?
Yes.
For like, I want to make it into one of those, but specifically for Honey.
So you gave him a kimono.
Yes, I want to make a kimono specifically for Honey.
Okay.
Out of all the glamour weave that we have extra of.
Is everyone consenting to this?
I guess.
I'm game.
Bone.
Okie dokie.
So does he have like a 6d4 in extra charisma?
Actually, yes. If he was ever to make a charisma check for any reason, he now looks like the sunset and is godly. Okay.
He doesn't look like the sunset. He is the sun.
He exactly. You could probably pick him up and place him against the horizon, and he would look like an awe-inspiring dawn to you.
He is love. He is life. He is everything.
68 on...
Honey is love.
armor.
Honey is life.
Oh god.
So 6d4 for charisma for him. Damn.
My lord. Okay.
That's a lot
Now.
of charisma.
Now that the shop has been closed, everyone looks like they're heading towards the center of town. The rest of the town appears to be having a fantastic time. The music is getting louder. That place you had looked at before, the staircase, you do see both figures come back out, and they do appear to be kind of dodging the lights a bit.
Can I try and like stealth my way and just like walking, like rushly walking behind them and try to like bump into one of them?
Do you need a
Just
sanctuary?
Just to see?
Sure, just to see what would happen if they touch light.
Yeah. Do you need a sanctuary to help, just in case?
Sure.
Okay. You get a
In
sanctuary.
case I get into a fight, what does that do again?
Basically they have to roll a wisdom saving throw, and on a failed save they must choose a new target or lose their attack entirely.
Okay.
So basically you can almost why you hitting yourself, like if
Are
they
you
fail the
bumping
save.
into the taller one or the shorter one?
The shorter one, because it's easier for me.
Okay.
So my stealth is a 27.
Okay, you stealthily go up to the pair. The one is holding the smaller one's hand, and you nudge their shoulder. They trip forward and fall into the light of a restaurant. Their hood flails back to reveal a pair of elf ears, and they wince in pain, letting out a shrill cry. Ow.
I'm gonna turn around and just kind of be like, I'm sorry. I was in a rush.
Make a insight.
Natural 20. For 26.
You are astonished at what you see.
Okay.
Is it
What
Nina?
do I see?
It's Vivian.
What?
As a young girl.
Why?
My first reaction is to literally just be like, Vivian?
I
She's
still don't like her.
very confused as you mention her name. The larger figure immediately grabs her hand and they start trotting off again.
I'm gonna try and follow her.
Can Ishmael like freaking book it over after he hears Vivian?
You can.
So I'll like book it over and go by Sapphire. Who said Vivian?
No one. Go back.
I think
And
I heard.
I want to try and just hold her arm and try to make her stop walking.
She continues.
You're gonna go grab a little girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would obviously stop you in doing that if you tried.
She
Or try to stop.
yells out again because you have grabbed the arm that was in the light. It has obviously bubbled over into a type of scar. She is in pain.
Hey, you stop that, Sapphire.
I'm trotting over to follow Ishmael.
Gonna make a performance. Yeesh. Okay. She got a 16. So people are looking like
Sapphire, get your hands off her.
She moves back. She kind of pulls her hood over her head just to try and hide the slight little tears that are starting to form in her eyes.
Get off of her.
the larger figure, with a bit of a huff, just continues to pull her towards the square, rubbing her hand a little bit.
Sapphire, why are you holding little girl?
She's not gonna answer. She's just gonna go hide behind Tyser.
Tyser's also confused as for what the hell is going on.
I'm gonna actually try to grab Sapphire and like stop her.
Mm-hmm.
Contesting checks.
Yes, this would be contesting checks.
Is it Dex for me?
Or athletics or dex save? What's up?
It would be you're trying to stop her, right?
I'm trying to grab her and stop her.
Okay, so I would say you're making a strength check, and she is making a. You're trying to grab her, so she's making a strength save.
Oh, fucking
I would
hell.
think that's no.
I think that's a no, because I rolled a fucking 9.
Okay.
Well, that's a 17, so.
So you've got Sapphire. You have her picked up.
Sapphire, this is not time to grab little girls. It is not okay.
Start
In
yelling.
no situation is it okay to grab a little girl.
She's literally just screaming at Deimos to let her go, and now he can clearly see that she's crying.
Okay, but why were you trying to grab a little girl? You can't just tell me to let you go after you try to grab a little girl and not explain.
Why are you trying to roll?
This don't make sense.
Yes,
Gonna
and
mumble under her breath, Vivian.
that doesn't
What
warrant
about
anything.
We left Vivian in the present.
Vivian gone.
Vivi existed in the past.
Okay,
Well-
but do we know past Vivian?
No.
I don't care.
She's just little girl.
We can't take her with us. She is a little
can't
girl
just-
here.
you
And there's
just
nothing
can't-
we can do to change her fate.
Okay,
And
you said
besides-
you said that she existed in the past.
I mean, yeah, how would she exist in the future if she didn't exist in the past?
No shit, we're about 100 years in the past.
She's
I
an
mean, she
elf.
is a-
How many years do we live?
elves live like
Fucking
10
lot.
times my life.
Exactly.
Bella walks up to the rest of the party and
I met
notices
an elf at 600.
your little bit of an episode. The plights of a time traveler. You should be careful.
Exactly. We cannot change past, because if we change past, she would not have been there to help
We don't
us.
know that. Deimos.
No, either
The
way,
DM
it
is
is
trying
not
to
good.
talk.
Okay, but either way, it is not good to grab little girl.
You should be very careful, not just because it's someone that you knew, but because Shadow Elves here are a little bit
Timey-wimey.
savory.
And that's racist.
It's not by people's choice.
It seems to be by your choice. So I'd say that's racist. The
She's
Shadow
gonna
Elves
go
we
ahead
met
and
were
grab
very nice.
Deimos' arm.
You're gonna grab my arm?
Bema is.
Okay, I'll make a. Should I make a dex or a strength save?
You can try and make a strength save.
I had a plus 9 to
me
strength
go
saves, I'm pretty
now.
sure.
Could I apologize to like the other person, the larger person?
Oh, they're already gone.
That's a
Oh,
19.
Okay, never mind.
That's a 19. You don't break out of it. In fact, you feel like she's tugging you, like really hard, and she pulls you into the light.
Okay.
You're fine. Around here, these lights were put in place specifically for the Shadow Elves.
That's very racist.
It
Is
is.
it for the Shadow Elves or just any Feywild creature?
You can step into the light if you like.
I
I'm
mean, they're
still being
technically on
held
my
by.
arms.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, so
still being
they
held by
get in
him.
the
I'm
light
just
with
kind
me.
of
I mean,
protected. I'm shielding myself with my cloak.
The rest of the party, whoever steps in the light, is fine. What she's explaining to you is that this is sanctioned by the city.
It's citywide racism. That's great.
No, a lot of the shopkeepers don't have problems with the Shadow Elves. They're being
Then-
forced to put these.
By the city.
Mm-hmm.
Then it's something about those city leaders.
Okay. Well,
So
we
we killed
if
them.
we stop the racism, Shadow Elf can be fine.
The thing is, it's very difficult to stop something that is so deeply ingrained here.
It is very easy. You kill the people who are deeply ingrained, and they're
Oh,
no
So
more
we
okay,
kill them.
okay.
That's literally what I said.
Deimos, back that up a little tiny bit. I don't think we can just go and kill a whole bunch of people since we're, back here.
Oh no, just the people in charge.
And that's even worse.
No, that's better because look at it this way. We tell them if they ever try to do racist shit again, we will come back and fuck them up. And we already did.
or we could get,
We already came back and fucked them up.
Or-
If you would like to,
or we could
that's
arrest
perfectly fine.
problems worse.
Yes, Landon is right. Unfortunately, it's not like people haven't wanted to do that. Shadow Elves,
Hadn't-
but the answer is never that simple. Things would probably get worse for the Shadow Elves if you even tried.
Okay, well, we get new people to take power, make sure they are anti-racism, and we kill the racists. This
Deimos,
is simple.
It is
This
not that simple. It is not that simple.
Deimos isn't smart enough to understand that.
Killing the
Okay.
race,
Well, I am smart enough to understand that, and I still want to kill them.
killing the races. right answer, but Damo does have a point about finding an anti-racist to take over.
You said shopkeep, not bad. Shopkeep can take over. Make it mercantile city.
So you're standing outside the shopkeep from before, the one that they tried to enter, but they turned the light on at the last second, right? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Hello, hello, hello,
Yeah.
hello.
Yes.
Lazy. Laz has to disconnect and reconnect.
Guys?
Can you not hear
Yes.
us?
Can hear you.
Someone add
Hello?
in the chat. Someone add in the chat.
Les?
Of course.
Can you not hear us, dude?
Yeah,
I
he's
can
gonna
hear you now. It went out.
Great.
Okay.
I
did
think
I
no.
miss something that I missed?
No, I was saying, the shopkeep not racist, right? You said that.
Yes, and the shopkeeper at this point has been kind of watching your conversation and opens the door. This is the same shopkeep that they were trying to get into before, when the lights had turned on. And she looks at you a little bit sad. The lights go on at a certain time every day. I'm sorry.
Okay, but if we take out the leader, we kill the rule, we destroy the lights, and then we put in merchant in charge. Merchant, no racist. Racism die.
It's a crude plan, but it sounds like it'll work.
I don't think it will work. I mean,
I don't
I'm
know
sorry.
what crude means, but I agree.
I don't stand for any of this, but I really feel like we'd be putting a whole bunch of things that we don't expect in harm's way by doing so.
I mean, they're already putting a whole bunch of people in harm's way by doing this.
Yes, so we may put many more people in harm's way and might not even fix the problem in the first place.
I'd rather try and do something and it does nothing than stand and just watch as Vivian gets taken away from us again.
Do you have anything to say on this? Either of you?
I'm with Sapphire.
This part, that part, like at the mention of losing Vivian again, he's just gonna kind of be like, "Dang, okay, you want to play it like that?"
Yeah, I do.
Because we are in the past, I do not believe we should mess with the past, as it could have cataclysmic outcomes for our future.
Why did they send us here if not to fix the mess they made?
I don't think it works that way, but
at this point,
hold on. Is there a way to make light not work?
I mean, we could always take the bulbs out, but unfortunately,
that is too simple. What
That
about
is very
ointment?
simple, but-
Ointment, anti-sun ointment, sunscreen.
There's two things that happen when we were trying to take the bulbs out. A lot of the shopkeepers have actually taken the bulbs out. She points to two restaurants down the street. Their windows have been smashed, and a lot of the tables that were inside were just thrown out.
Okay, who did this?
City guard.
Great, we killed the city guard too.
This is spiraling out of control too fast.
There has to be.
I've been dying to kill someone for a while.
As well as the sailors, no less.
What?
So we kill the
Sailors are
sailors too.
racist as is,
Okay.
but if we get better city guard, anti-racist city guard.
There's a lot of problems to fix.
The police
What
is
about
just never gonna be not racist, dude.
What if we put Shadow Elf as police?
To be clear, it's not actually the city guard that's super racist. They're doing it on
It's a-
order.
Yeah. Here's the question.
Yeah.
What if we make the Shadow Elves the politicians?
That would be difficult because you have to get them in power in the first place.
That's fine. We can kill the power, and we take the power, and then we give it to them.
Oh
That's how
gosh.
it works.
That also implies that any of them want to be in power.
Would you assume that no Shadow Elf wants to be in power?
Well, as you mentioned that statement, the festival kind of kicks in a high gear. You are, I'd say, about a block or two away from the city's central square. And you hear people cheering happily as there's some kind of show going on.
Oh god. Sounds of cheer in racist town is not good.
If it's to get Vivian back, then we're gonna have to do something. But all of those options sound rather impossible to me.
Wait. Important
Well,
question.
if I may...
Clothing man. Clothing no make clothing for lights?
That's a good idea.
If I may weigh in, if you're wanting to take over the city guard, why not instead try to convince the guard, if we're going to go the political route, to gain at least... So you say it's impossible to sort of get the Shadow Elves in power, and that no one wants to have the Shadow Elves repressed. Why not make it so that all the sort of monopolies of shops stop supplying the people's decisions, making it in a sort of starve to get what we want kind of thing? Maybe a naval blockade? Shipment blockade?
I don't know if small city has navy.
Ports blockade, a blockage of shipment of goods. You could starve the people out.
You could try to, and a lot of the merchants had tried to, but unfortunately the sailors weren't having any of it.
So, well, that would be multiple fronts to manage, and that's a bit much.
I do have an idea, though. If I could, per se, he looks at Bone and then looks at Honey. Maybe we can make a convincing enough beast from the sea.
Oh,
Spoopy.
I see.
Maybe we could persuade them from a beast from the sea to sort of make them not want to use their ships.
I mean, I have, at least once in my life, I have to agree with the fucking robot man. It's not a bad idea.
Because our dear friend does have a very high charisma, and along with our combined efforts, I'm sure we could make him look like a Leviathan. After all, he is one. All we need now is some convincing illusionaries. With myself and our rogue friend involved, I'm sure we could get the sailors to hightail the docks.
That would be actually a good idea, because it involves less bloodshed and murder.
So if we get sailors and if we get city guard on our side, we can stop politician.
Ludwig,
without killing.
Make a persuasion check really quick.
Persuasion with advantage or just persuasion?
Persuasion with advantage, actually.
26.
Don't forget your D4.
Okay.
You got a D4.
Emma and Dolan are willing to help you.
So I want to look at the tiefling, and I want to say that I want to speak to the tiefling and the Kenku.
Oh God, you're gonna hit on her again.
By chance, do you have any large items that could freeze over some kind of thing? Well, we do have freezing magic available. I did notice you had a few cursed rods in that chest of yours.
I do have a number, but I do think I have something a little bit better. She's going to head off, unless you have something else for me to do.
I would like to ask one more thing, and it's to the Kenku.
Mm-hmm.
You say you have great luck with your draws, correct?
Mm-hmm.
I would like to use that to my advantage, or ours at least.
How so?
Well, if you drew a good card, per se, we might be able to really get our plans moving along, whatever it may be.
why would we use that deck of cards again? I mean, we already played the game, and who knows what's
But
left
not
of that.
that deck, though. The deck of
That
illusions.
resets after a while.
The deck of illusions is what I was referring to.
Oh.
Ooh.
If he can get a lucky draw, maybe we can get a Leviathan.
That is a very interesting choice.
Or a dragon.
It is very risky. I would
But-
rather use that
Out
Leviathan
of
that we
character,
have here.
the best draw would be a red dragon or a Leviathan.
Okay, but like, how many draws are there?
You can draw as many times as you want from the deck of illusion. It just makes an illusion.
Yeah, but the question is, how many cards are there?
There's 34.
Oh god.
So that means we'll just keep like drawing like I choose you, and we just throw like all these illusions at them until we finally get the Leviathan we want.
Even if you were to draw all
mystery
34
eggs.
cards, you still have a motley beast of 34 different monsters that could fuck up the town in various ways and stir up trouble.
It's true, and we did establish that he has, at least in the other deck, he has a lucky draws on it. Like, he's never gotten a bad card, so if we can determine if it's exclusive to that deck or to any deck, that could help us also.
That is a really smart thing between all of you.
The main
I
Also,
want-
look for it.
The main
And
plan
then-
that I have for this is that we could draw from the deck of illusion, but place the card on honey and make it so that the illusion happens on honey instead of anywhere else.
So the
even if
card,
he's-
so the illusion will be able to move
Yes.
Yes.
with honey.
Yes. So if
So
you
that means
made
the
it-
Leviathan can move if we pick it.
If you
Exactly.
made a Leviathan combined with illusionary magic, some tattoos in specific places, and maybe some spells, you could make it look like a Leviathan or an ancient Leviathan is coming up from the sea and attacking all the ships. And because it's
And we
bound
could-
to honey, even if it's hit, it's not going to shimmer or move.
And
I have a
Ian,
question.
we can make it so we know with that city that the Leviathan attack is because they attack Shadow Elf.
We
Can
could
you-
also say that.
Do
We
any
can
of
add
us
to the
have
persona.
I think it's thaumaturgy.
I have thaumaturgy.
We can use the voice from thaumaturgy to pretend it's the Leviathan
Beautiful.
Oh,
and
yes,
say that if they don't stop being mean to the Shadow Elves, it's gonna destroy the city.
Yes, I can project pretty well. I have a
Put
stage voice.
Shadow Elf in charge.
Booming
Shadow
voice.
Elf best race.
Yes.
No, no,
Also,
no. I make
so
jokes.
here's
I
the
make
question.
jokes.
Earlier I asked if I went in the light, it would affect me because I'm a creature of the Feywild, and you didn't quite answer that.
The
No, it
answer was
didn't
no.
work.
No, okay.
We went into the light. It didn't do anything.
Yeah.
But
The
I was
rest of
also
you were
covered from head to toe with my cloak, so.
The major
Oh,
thing
well,
here is
either way.
though is because the card is stuck to honey. Even if it's not a Leviathan, even if a dragon will suffice, because it's stuck to honey. If anything goes through the illusion because it's tied to a physical object, it's not gonna shimmer, so it's gonna look real,
And
Awesome.
and it's gonna stay.
if we use
real.
the illusion and thaumaturgy and everything else and honey and blah 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 and so on and so forth, it ought to succeed, right?
So let me see.
Wait a minute, actually, I got a question.
Before we go through anything else, what are you intending to do with this?
I'm
We're intending to intimidate the
The
city.
main intention here is to make it so the docks can no longer. So, to make it so that the docks and the sailors will flee from the docks, will not come back, and it will force the city to then sort of now having a Leviathan, a dragon, the merchants, and part of the city all against the Shadow Elves, all against the idea of purging Shadow Elves, that it will outnumber and outweigh what the sailors are willing to put up with.
We can also
Good
use
choice.
disguise self and have one of us disguised as a Shadow Elf and quote unquote defeat the Leviathan. So we are the saviors. So the
Wait,
Shadow
wait,
Elf are the
wait,
saviors
wait.
of
There is a hat, right?
So
There is,
Like
there
it's-
is a hat
Oh
in
yes.
the shop.
Ludwig
does-
can buy the
I
this
have
disguise.
disguise self combined with a disguise kit and high charisma.
Well, no. You have the hat of disguise. It's at will.
What does Shadow Elves like typically look like?
So a shadow elf, to be very clear, a shadow elf is a branch of the Shidarkai, but this is like an ancestral Shidarkai.
I actually know what the Shidarkai is. Wow, I feel
Yeah.
nerdy.
Yeah, it's actually pretty cool.
So these guys,
Landon would be the closest to what we could get to a shadow elf if we were to use disguise.
these
So
guys
are
are the
they
Shidarkai.
like? So are they like? Okay, so they're pale.
Pale-ish, yeah.
Okay, so like a grayish skin.
Landon.
I can pass as a shadow elf.
Landon
and
and
Landon can pass
Sapphire.
as a shadow
The only issue is that the shadow elves are taller than you, Sapphire.
That is true.
I'm a
Yeah.
child.
That's what I'm saying. Use Landon because Landon's.
Landon.
Yeah, but I also have my knight.
Wait,
And
hold on. What?
can-
Oh shit, yeah, that's right. You do have a paladin elf knight who fighter who is also
You have
a
you
paladin
have
elf.
black hair, which I'm assuming shadow elves would have black hair.
No,
To be
I don't.
fair, your knight is very
Paladin elf.
kind of hero-y looking, so it kind of would fit the illusion if you
Oh
wanted
my
to
god,
go.
are we just gonna put the knight in charge of the city?
No.
No, I'm not giving you my knight.
So is everyone down for my plan then?
Yes.
And
So
Yeah.
shadow elf racism. Start paladin elf supremacy.
It's
Also-
the
So as
revolution.
you guys have managed to go ahead and figure out your plan, Bema comes back holding a very large staff of frost.
ooh, staff of frost. I'm sorry.
This
Can I
looks frosty.
ask her? Can we use your shop as an operation basis? Because I don't want to discuss this in the middle of the street. We're in the middle of the street, guys.
Oh, you're
No,
right.
we're in front of the clothing store.
Which is in the middle of the street. We're out in the open. That's what I mean.
Okay, so
Okay.
Landon, to
I mean, but we
re-explain-
just made everyone
to
run, and there's a
Landon.
festival going on. I don't think we
me-
need to worry.
Let me re-explain this. So to re-explain here, we're going to use the deck of illusions with a Kenku lucky draw to try and either get a dragon or a leviathan.
Okay.
Or
While
both.
using this card, place it on Honey specifically so that when the illusion activates, that it will not shimmer when when some object is thrown at it, because it's attached to a physical thing.
And it can move
Afterwards,
around.
he can move around, so can the illusion, but it won't shimmer, so it won't fade away. As
Okay.
long as the card stays on him. The next
Okay.
thing is that we are going to use support, as we are going to be casting spells, and I can use tattoo spells on him, specifically tattoos on his body, to use different spells to make it look as if this giant dragon is attacking the city and saying, if you do not stop this shit, this thing is that I am going to wreck your entire city and you're going to rue
Right.
the day.
Right,
Yeah.
I got that. I got that.
This
We
we're
must
going to
make sure
also-
not.
This will also
Let
double.
Ludwig finish,
Sorry,
please.
this will also double as a bargaining chip because now the merchants can also rise up along with the dragon plus part of the city against the sailors, and the sailors will either have to stay and die or pull out and not come back.
Well, more importantly, the city officials.
Yes.
Right.
Which is a different problem
also-
that you haven't addressed.
Yes,
Yeah,
we could.
also-
We could have. Okay, important detail. We cannot make it look like these illusions die, because if we do, there is no body. There is giant creature and no
Yeah.
body.
No one
But
This is
here's
not good.
also something we can also do. Instead of the shadow elves fighting the dragon and being the heroes, they can be with the dragon, because we look like shadow elves technically. I just kind of dye my hair.
This
single
sounds
hero.
like revolution instead of tactic.
It's
Well-
a
So,
tactic to get
Can I
to
finish, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of the shadow elves fighting the dragon, they can be the ones that can bargain. We can be the ones that bargain with the higher ups, and it'll be like, either you give us freedom or our little dragon is just gonna set your whole place on
You have a
fire.
very big problem, though.
Yeah,
If
a
this
lot
goes
of people.
awry, the Shadow Elves are fucked.
Yeah, a lot of us.
Yeah,
are
I don't
either-
like the idea of
No.
putting Shadow
How
Elves
about
as
instead of
users
the shadow,
of dragon.
instead of
I would rather.
instead of
No,
having,
I would rather.
Sorry.
I would rather the Shadow Elves be in a position of being heroes, because like I know we can't leave a dead body or anything, but like if like it seems like we're threatening them for Shadow Elf freedom, then that would probably make it worse.
Question.
You know.
Okay, yeah.
So, to add to your plan here, if you wish to have a driving force besides the dragon, why not use Ludwig, since he is a one-of-a-kind Warforged, which probably will never ever come into the town ever again. Because Warforged don't come to this part of the world at all, ever. They're mountain-born
I mean, this
creatures.
is a good point. You can talk for the town and say, "Hey,
What I'm saying
hey,
is, like,
no more racism."
You can use Ludwig's race to your advantage here, being that if you use him as the evil, you see what I mean? That even if they hate Warforged now or are racist towards Warforged, doesn't fucking matter because they're not even coming down this far.
But if things go awry, then that means that Ludwig will be the target of it, and that potentially he'll get in a lot more trouble than we can ever ask for.
But that's
He's
better.
fine. He has head of disguise.
But that's a better.
That's not.
I'm just saying, as a leveraging, it would allow the Shadow Elves to rise up to a higher status with me going down as a lower status, even if I am, say, hated in the town.
It's
the
gonna
Shadow
redirect the
Elves-
racism.
Yes. it
Yeah,
would-
we just simply redirect it and not stop it.
Even if with this plan fails, Ludwig would be the one receiving all the racism and shit. And there's only one Warforged which has come through here. And a
The thing
very
is,
long
we don't want to redirect the racism. We want to end it.
Wait, I have a good
I
idea
know.
because I remember Ludwig killed half the town last time.
Yep.
Yep.
I'm just stating.
So if we say it like this, then it sounds like in future, when they be racist again, he kill half the town.
I have a fucking idea.
Well, wait, how can we
Okay.
convince them of that?
No,
that's what I'm getting at. Give me a second. I have an idea. So, Sapphire is this tiny fucking little thing that, like, no one probably seen an elf this small. We can make an illusion, because I know that you have illusions.
I'm sure we've
And
seen.
in the middle of the
children, right?
town square, she can have a quote-unquote vision of the future. We can make, like, a big thing, like, perform smoke coming out of, like, her mouth and, like, green shit. And
Thaumaturgy.
she can, like... Yes! And, like, we can say that in the future, the town will be doomed because of a robot.
Right.
And because of the robot has come to punish them for the racism against Shadow Elves?
I'm just trying to
But
say
that
here.
sounds bad coming from a shadow elf.
May I finish
Yeah,
the
well,
thought?
also that's...
Even if you
I'm not a
don't-
Shadow Elf, though.
Even if you don't end
But
the
you look like
racism, you've still redirected it to a race that won't be coming near
Yeah.
this town for a very long time. Even if you
And when they do,
I'm
they
just
kill
saying-
half the town.
I'm just saying that even if the plan fails, even if this one plan fails, you've redirected most of the hate towards a different race that is rare amongst the part of the world. So it doesn't end the racism, but it does end the
End it towards
racism
them.
it ends it towards the Shadow Elves. It's a plan that
What we
wins
can do
in either
is-
losing or winning.
What we could do is that use the plan of, like, prophecy shit, and then if it doesn't work, we can, as a plan B, we can use the dragon.
Anyways, are we ending the session here?
Yeah.
If you'd like to.
I would like to.
I have to sleep. My brain is burnt.
I'm gonna just say we'll
Yeah.
go back to our shop then.
Yes.
One thing before we end then. The festival's still going onward. Bema
Oh,
does
God.
suggest two things. One, it would be best to carry out the plan when the majority of the town is exhausted.
So after the festival.
So after the festival.
So after the main events of the festival.
At like 3, 4 a.m. when everyone is drunk.
Actually, I want to do something before we end off. I want to ask her a question. For where is the main liquor supply of the event?
Okay.
Oh. I see what you're doing.
The main liquor supply?
Yes. Could you take me to the kegs and barrels?
Before you do that, I recommend not looking like a warforged.
I'll disguise myself as... I want to use my hat of disguise.
Make yourself a dwarf.
And I want to disguise myself as a, one moment, please.
A wealthy dwarf.
But the main portion that she wants to get out is that the plan will be easiest to carry out when people are, yes, A, drunk, and B, tired. So there's
like
a lot of...
What
like
is
this
a
whole
common race here?
A common race?
Yep.
I mean, humans, elves, those are pretty common. Tiefling.
I want to disguise as a high elf.
Ew. Okay.
Okay.
The most racist race in the whole fucking book.
Right. So you're now a high elf.
Darling, do take me to the liquor supply, please. I have a plan to unfold.
Okay. She's gonna go ahead and escort you to Daimos. What are you saying?
I have a horrible idea. He's gonna poison all the liquor and then give it out to everyone for free.
Oh, not quite, but you are onto something.
Okay. So Bema's gonna escort you to the center of town. There are kegs and kegs on both sides of the corner of the square, piled up end to end, and people are taking it from there. Also, make a quick perception.
Everyone?
No, Ludwig, because he's the only one here.
4.
4?
Oh, you said perception? I thought you said persuasion.
Perception.
Oopsie. Sorry, 15.
Okay. There is a shadow elf up top on the stage. She appears to be having a good time and is dancing for the crowd. Performing overall. She looks to be maybe like the body of a 18 to 20-year-old.
Okay.
Bema is currently smiling as she's watching the stage. There's your liquor.
Oh. So, for you're telling me that she supplies all the liquor for the event?
Oh no, I'm talking about the kegs. I'm just watching the show.
So, are the kegs off limits to people?
No, people are taking them as they see fit.
What I want to do is, I want to use a preemptive, so I want to prepare a medicine check.
Mm-hmm.
So, make the medicine right now. 20.
Okay. Okay. It does what you want it to do.
And what I'm wanting it to do is I'm wanting to, on each barrel, use a tattoo of, one moment.
You have to go, Ishmael? I see you typing.
Wait, wow. Wow.
Perception OP.
You really caught me out there. Okay, yeah, but I do need to go.
Yeah.
Off you go.
Good night.
Good night,
Hope you had
gamers.
fun.
Bye bye. This was
Night.
fun.
So, I want to use a tattoo of polymorph
Okay.
combined with my medicine, and I want to use it unanimously to make a large tattoo on all the barrels, so that when someone
What are you
touches,
trying to polymorph them into?
I'm going to polymorph the alcohol content to be as high as possible.
Oh, I see.
We're
Why
talking
don't you
like
just switch them for the alcohol that you make?
because
Yeah.
I can't produce that much.
That's also true.
Fair enough.
That would seem suspicious.
And the tattoo will activate when someone picks up or knocks into one keg, making them all. Like,
that's fine.
So it'll be one large tattoo.
Okay. So I'll say this works out. Bemma's kind of leaving you to your devices for the moment. She's actually cheering and having a good time, despite all the planning that you've been doing. Yes, Solani. You always put on the best show.
So the tattoo. Oh, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
When
Go ahead.
someone nicks the barrel or takes ale from one of the barrels or whatever, or lifts it up, it activates all of them and increases their alcohol content to that of what would be a medicine check of a 30 or 40, so absolute top alcohol content.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
You were saying with the girl?
Yeah. She notices Bemma very quickly and jumps off of the stage,
He's just
more or
gonna-
less doing cartwheels.
He's just gonna walk back to her.
Mm-hmm.
Dressed in like his, high elf garb and robe and such.
I'll go join them.
I'll follow.
Well, hello, my dear friends. How are you? Enjoying the show?
Are you talking to Bemma or?
Bemma.
Okay. Also, Bone, Sapphire, what are you doing? I cut out there.
We followed. We went to join Bima.
Okay. So I guess the four of you are here now?
Mm-hmm.
5.
Okay. She's been cheering happily for the performer. And for Ludwig and Bone, she looks somewhat familiar. You can't really tell, but you have seen a number of Shadow Elves so far. So, she jumps off of the stage and does a bit of acrobatics all the way towards Bemma and greets her very happily with a big smile. I'm so happy you finally made it. I was getting worried that you wouldn't even show up.
Gonna make a
Who are your
history
friends?
check. Gonna make a history check since we're so far in the past.
Okay.
18.
What are you making the history check on?
Her lore, like who this person is. She said she's familiar to me, and since I'm from the Legend of Lore for bards, I'm making a history check on her, if I know any history of her.
You don't, which that actually says more than you think. You don't know who this person is, almost to the point that they seem like they don't exist.
Can I learn to the girl and just casually ask for her name?
Oh, yes, no problem. I'm Solani. I'm the servant of the High Mayor, as well as the performer for the town. I'm the, I guess you could say the medicine girl.
Does her name sound familiar to me?
No. Kinda.
Kinda.
It might jog some bells.
Can I roll on it?
With disadvantage. Yeah, you can.
Okay.
I want to extend a hand out to Shake.
She happily
What am
takes
I
it in
rolling
both
again?
hands. You would be rolling an insight.
Insight. Okay, that's good.
She takes your hand in both hands and just gives you a big smile. She's a very happy shadow elf, unlike most that you've seen.
So, question.
Oh.
I have advantage on insight, so should I just do a straight roll?
Yeah, it would be a straight roll.
Okay.
What's her name?
21.
Solani sounds familiar to the point that it's on the tip of your tongue. And this particular person also seems very familiar. Almost as if you know the person.
So, I want to just say, I'm fairly new to this town and its festivals, but what I can say is, I've not met many shadow elves. It is quite wonderful to meet one of such yourself and high graciousness. You
To
have
be
my
fair, we
condolences.
did meet Shadow King.
I'm playing the act of a high elf.
Oh, you would get along great with my owner.
You have an owner.
Well, my boss.
I want to make a medicine check, just a viewing, to see if I can see any abuse.
Okay.
Just with my eyes. 17.
Where would this boss of yours be?
First and foremost, that medicine check does show she doesn't have anything on her arms, but you do spy on her lower back is a very large bruise. It almost looks like it might just be a mark, like a birthmark, but it's a little bit too fresh looking.
I want to use my message cantrip to send a message in her head saying that I know what it is to be owned, and I know what the marks you have and what they tell.
She's gonna ignore the statement, and she looks down at Honey instead with a big smile. And
Does she answer my question?
What'd you ask? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Where her boss was.
Also ignoring that question. She's not saying anything about either.
He just wants to tell her that he understands what she's going through, but he's not going to pry her on it.
I appreciate that. She just turns to you and just makes that statement.
Sapphire is going to just quietly get closer to her, and in a very quiet voice, she is going to say, I can help you be free.
She looks a little sad at a moment, and then shakes her head. I'm actually pretty happy. Just wish that everyone else was that way.
He wants to... Ludwig is going to let out a large smile and chuckle. For you do have a wonderful act here.
I'm glad you've been enjoying. I do have to go back, unfortunately, but...
Can I, add a... Can I roll a performance to not upstage her, but just kind of passively make her performance better?
Depends on how, because you're shaped as a high elf at the moment.
What I want to do is, like, I want to use dancing lights along with minor illusion to make it as if she's glowing and that she has after images as she dances.
Okay. All of that is fair game. I will say that
Nat
succeeds.
20 plus 13 equals 33.
That succeeds exceedingly well. But as soon as she gets back on stage,
Okay.
she will be bewildering for the entire audience to watch as fire and light just dances around her. She was already doing a lot of acrobatics. She's very much a one-person Cirque du Soleil at the moment.
Like,
So
at least like 5 after images, and like she's just glowing a bright blue.
yeah,
Can I just
really quick, she's gonna kneel down at Honey, and then look up at Bone. Kind of dog is this? He's so cute.
Seems Honey. If you want to give him a pet, he'd sure like it.
She mushes his face, and Honey just looks up at her, just kind of confused, but enjoying it. He's very good with animals.
I'm gonna whisper to her, "It's a fish dog."
I do want to say, this is significantly giving me flashbacks to the first session.
How so?
Oh my god, that's true. Fish boy.
Fish girl, fish character,
Yes.
stage performer, taking
The guy
up
that was
entire
saved and
lyrics.
then he left the game because he got mad at me.
Well, I will say I think they left because I was not going to RP Deimos X whatever with them.
Oh, it wasn't just that. He is mad at me. He blocked me in every single social media.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah, they were 16 and I'm in a relationship. I'm not going to go do sexual RPs.
I wanna pat her shoulder as she'd be just leaving and giving her bardic inspiration as I do so.
Okay. She goes ahead and hugs Honey and thanks Bone. I hope I see you and your fish dog again. Hopefully very soon. He looks so cute.
I'd like to say to her, I don't know if this is against the rules or anything, but I know Honey likes to bounce around, and I wouldn't mind, rocking out a bit. Do you need backup dancers? Kind of half joking.
Her face lights up like a Christmas tree. Never had that offer before, but that sounds absolutely fantastic.
I mean, I'm good at knife throwing.
Okay.
I can arrange a knife throwing performance. I can like hit an apple on your head or some shit like that. Watch me stab her in the head.
For I'm a master of illusions, I could make your performance rather wondrous. Lazarus?
And he's dead again.
Did you catch that or no?
Nope.
You didn't say anything.
Of course. I love you, Discord. She's going to go ahead and smile really big and happily say yes to both Bone and Sapphire for joining her for her performance. Ludwig and Deimos, are you coming too or no?
I am going to stay off to the side and sort of use my illusionary magic to make it grandiose with different spells and shit.
Okay.
Hey, Deimos, can you make my hair black?
I don't have.
Can you kind of make me not Deimos, Ludwig? Sorry, confusing. I kind of want to look like her, in a sense. Still look like me, but just make my hair black.
So I want to use my disguise kit to dye her hair temporary black.
Thank you.
And what I also want to do is give the same. I want to use my minor illusion. And I want to actually. One moment. Sapphire, do you mind if I give you another tattoo of sorts?
Sure, I'll hand him my hand.
Un momento, while I find this spell real quick. So, I am going to use Where is it? Fuck. Sorry, give me a moment.
It's all good.
I want to put in her right hand wall of fire, so let me roll deception for that.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, yeah,
27.
wall of fire?
Okay.
Should I roll against that? Cause my
No, it's
insight's
tattoo.
pretty high.
It's tattoo.
Oh, okay.
And then in your other hand, I want to put conjure elemental.
I don't know if I'm gonna use it during the performance, but okay.
Might be interesting.
Well, to specifically conjure an elemental to dance and be your partner.
Oh, I'm not dancing, I'm throwing knife.
I know, but what I'm saying is you could use the elemental.
To dance behind me while I throw knives.
No, to be
It's like
your
interpretive dance behind me.
to be your knife like person, like as you throw a knife.
Oh
at
no, I'm using the Shadow Elf.
Okay, then I want to instead
Make it interesting. If
I
she
might
dies,
go
she
for that.
dies.
I think I might go for the night. I got work tomorrow, and I'm
Okay,
having
well,
Alright.
no problem. No problem.
Good night, guys.
good night.
Night.
Bro.
I want to then use instead we'll use Glyph of Warding. I'm gonna put it on your hand to make it so that when you throw one of the night, that it'll be a constant effect as long as you hold something in that hand. To when thrown, it makes sort of like a when you hit something, it makes a burst of ice come out of it.
That might hurt the girl.
Okay, instead of burst of ice, why not a burst of light?
Glitter.
Glitter.
I'll say a burst of light. It'll look like
Okay.
it'll look like a firecracker, but it's not gonna hurt anything.
Okay. Then can I go to the stage?
So let me
And like
roll
I'm
for
gonna
that.
steal a couple apples on my way and just like throw it to her.
Yeah, that one's a 32, so that one's gonna last as long as you have it up.
Okay.
I'm gonna sit next to the stage, but out of sight, and just use illusionaries.
Bema also goes up to the stage. Bone, you, Ludwig, and Bema, not Ludwig, you, Sapphire, and Bema are all joining Solani for her performance.
Don't forget Honey.
And yes, of course, Honey.
My sweet boy.
A little fluffy mutant dinosaur.
As Honey is going up there, I want to put a tattoo on my hand, and I want to activate it immediately
Okay.
to enlarge Honey.
Oh
Okay.
no.
20.
Wait, do we want to do that?
I don't know if that's an early thing. Hold on.
That will enlarge him.
Okay.
But don't we want to use him for the thing later on? The other
Yeah.
plan?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
probably don't
I
want to
would
make
do
him
that.
intimidating or big.
Actually, no, I'm going to cancel the enlargement. I'll just hold on to that.
Okay.
Okay. I am going to pick up both my Hellfire daggers
Okay.
and just start playing with them in my hand as I walk up the stage. This tiny little like piece of shit, and I'm gonna position her like sideways so that when I throw the knife, they can like. I don't have my back towards the audience because rule number 1 of theater: never have your back against the audience.
Right.
And I'm gonna position her like I'm gonna position myself right in front of her and the apple on her head. How
Mhm.
tall is this chic?
This girl comes to Bone. How tall are you?
I think I'm like 6'4" or 5. I'm pretty tall.
Okay. She comes up to Bone's like clavicle.
Okay, I'm
So
gonna
you're not
be
super tall.
I'm gonna like
Do like 5'5".
I put my hood down, and I'm gonna clap my hands and expect someone to bring me a little stepping stool. Does anyone bring me a stepping stool?
Honey nudges over and like stands behind you so you can stand on his back.
I will step on Honey's back very carefully. And then I'm gonna throw my dagger up and then pick it up by the blade.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna throw it at the apple.
Alright, let me make a quick dex save for Solani.
Oh, poor girl.
I wanna cast Unseen.
Okay.
Did you fail?
Might have overtuned that. Holy dick.
One question, one thing real quick as a backup.
Yeah.
I want to cast Unseen Servant to sort of move or deflect a dagger if it gets too close to her.
Fair.
But the Unseen Servant's invisible.
She's currently standing with her like hands together and her eyes closed, almost like she's praying with the apple on her head. But she's got a big smile on her face still. The rest of the crowd's kind of dumbfounded right now as this tiny pallid elf standing on top of a miniature Komodo dragon gecko is launching knives at her with her eyes closed. As the dagger's flying through the air, she crouches down for just a second and bounces the apple up over her head, doing a quick backflip and holding the apple on the bottom of her foot as you skewer it.
Does it explode into a
All
firework?
right.
Damn.
Sure. It explodes into a firework.
Because of the glyph of warding?
Okay. There's just apple chunks everywhere.
I will motion to her to pick another one.
To pick another apple?
Yes.
She goes ahead and picks 3 more, juggling them all simultaneously.
I only have fucking 2 daggers, dude. Actually, I am going to raise my hand and recall my Hellfire dagger. And then I'm going to pick my Vicious dagger, and...
You know what? I'm gonna make this more fun. She's gonna go ahead and turn to Bone, and just immediately... She crouches down and does a really high jump onto your shoulders.
Excellent.
Oh no, okay.
And she's still continuing to juggle.
I will, one at a time, I will throw 1, 2, 3 at the apples.
I want to use Minor Illusion on all 3 to make them look as if they're like almost a radiating glow, like they're outlined.
Beautiful.
Laser daggers.
One after another, the streaks of dagger, the daggers streak across the stage, trailing light as they impale the apple, each apple one at a time, right in the same spot against the pillar behind both Bone and Solani.
And they explode into fireworks.
Yep.
I'm gonna recall my Hellfire daggers, because I can't do that with my fucking Vicious dagger, my poor dagger. And I'm gonna ask her for 1 more. And I am going... What?
Seeing that you're throwing daggers at Bone and Solani, Honey is semi-freaking out.
I want to use Calm Motion on Honey.
He's going to go ahead and walk over to the 2 of them with you still on his back and go see if Bone is okay.
I'll telepathically tell him, "Hey, bud, we're just having a good time. You want to dance with us?"
I still have 1 more apple.
I want to use a message spell and tell Saphir to throw it in the air and stab it.
I was gonna do it blindfolded.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Because I have a plan.
Don't
At
ruin my
this-
moment.
Hold on. At this, Honey does stand up on his hind legs and puts his hands in your hands. Bone.
Yes.
Solani drops off of the side, doing a bit of a handstand, and catches Sapphire. Let's see.
Hello there.
Yeah, I want to tell Sapphire to throw the apple in the air and then throw a knife up to it to stab it.
Okay.
So I have
No, I want to do my blindfolded thing.
You can still do it blindfold, but I have a thing to make it really cool.
Okay. Solani says that she'll throw the knife. She'll throw the apple in the air for you.
Okay.
And you do what you need to.
I'll pull my cloak down and kind of do a thing, so like tie it up or some shit like that, so I'm completely blindfolded, like I can't see anything. And I'm gonna pick up my Hellfire dagger, hold it by the blade again, and as soon as I hear her throw the apple, I'm throwing the dagger up.
I want to use plant growth on the apple.
Okay.
And then after that, I want to use Chaos Bolt, but have it fire up from the ground and make it connect with the apple when the dagger hits it to make it explode into giant apple chunks.
Okay. The crowd is cheering. There is giant pieces of apple just flying all over. People are happy and enjoying. Meanwhile, Solani is also going to turn back to Bone and Honey. She's going to try and pick up Honey, but she's not very strong.
Can I try picking up her instead once I see her attempting to pick up Honey?
Yes, that would be fine.
I have a question though.
Yeah.
So I did get arrested earlier.
Fuck.
How are the guards acting around? Because you know, I did run away.
And yes, you did get arrested.
And I escaped from jail.
So
disguise.
The guards, I forgot about that entirely. The guards are bewildered by the show, but at the same time, one of them gets nudged in the shoulder. Isn't that the one that got away from us before? Yeah, I think so.
She waves at them.
Hell, they charge up the stage. You get down here now.
I want to make a wall of sand in between the guards and them, like as they like try to go up, like a wall of sand just to push them back down.
Yeah.
Like
they see
I want to
that
go
a
hide
high elf
behind.
had been blocking the stage with a wall of sand, and they immediately back down. Sorry, sir. They give Sapphire a glare.
She lifts her middle fingers up.
Bon, why did you pick up Solani?
I didn't. I did a strength check and that was an 8. I don't pick her up.
I gave you advantage.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
Oh, sweet. Okay, then the next one I rolled was 21.
You know, feather.
Yeah, I want to pick her up and kind of just twirl around with her a bit. I don't know. I saw her trying to pick up baby boy. Pick her up instead. I show that I'm strong.
So what I want to
It
do...
makes sense in Bones' head.
I want to send a message spell to Bone. Saying that I'm going to throw my rod with immovability and make it go in the middle, but high enough. Use it for acrobatics.
Okay.
So I'm gonna like an immovable rod is then tossed up from like the stage, and it like activates as like the button pressed and like stops and it's now in the middle.
Nice.
I have
It's
a
now
song
in-
request for some pole dancing.
No,
Yes.
I don't want to get copyrighted.
You don't have to put the song and you can just mute Groovy.
True.
I want a request a song for some pole dancing.
Well, it's horizontal, so you wouldn't be able to really pole dance on it.
Well, fuck you, then.
She could probably work out something, actually.
I want some pole dancing.
Question. So here's the thing. It is around 6 feet off of the ground.
Yep.
So it's enough for Bone to reach it, but it's not enough for you to reach.
For Sapphire?
Yeah, even if she jumps.
I'm not saying that I'm pole dancing. I'm saying that I want her to pole dance.
Solani, yeah.
Yes, and I have song requests for pole dancing.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, and go ahead. We can go ahead and mute Groovy, for Ludwig. That's fine. If that's
Play "Call Me by Your Name."
Call Me by Your Name. Okay.
Yes, by Lone X. Pole dancing to hell. Have you never seen the music video?
I have not.
You need to, because it's great.
Close this. Okay. And
that's the part. That's the part.
So as Bone is flipping around Solani, she's still holding on to Honey simultaneously, and she did get a nice acrobatics check. She's kind of like juggling Honey with her legs in like a bicycle kick, and he's just turning around in circles over and over. He looks like a spinning lizard wheel right now.
It's like a spin dash.
Excellent.
I love that.
I will also say he's spitting out steam, so simultaneously he's like a giant fan.
So, something that I wish to do is I want to cast, as they're doing this, to use a tattoo again, but on the stage. And I want to use a minor illusion in conjunction with this. Okay, so for the tattoo, it's a D20, nat 20 that is.
Okay.
Plus 13 equal 33. To use Cloud of Fog, to use the fog to roll off the stage, and make it look as if the steam is the fog.
That makes sense.
So like he's creating so much steam that it's coming off the stage.
Yep.
Like epic fashion.
So, yeah.
Hi. I'd like to use my bewilderingly wild actually, and emulate what Honey is doing. Can I do that? Can I produce steam?
You can actually.
Pog.
So,
my first time using it. Such a good opportunity.
You're like doing the one thing that I do with my one fucking, what's her name? My blood hunter. I only use her fucking lichen form to impress people. I'd never actually used it in battle before.
Yeah.
So, you use Bewilderingly Wild, and your hands grow what looks like talons. Your teeth get elongated very similarly to Honey's, and you suddenly feel a mouthful of steam in what forms like a mist ball, almost. You have nice control over it. What are you doing with it?
I mean, I don't want to make a ball with it. I was just gonna have the steam kind of just like out of like my nose and mouth and just kind of like shit around. It's for fun, just to.
So you're now
like I'm vaping.
This is exactly what I'm imagining.
I want to use prestidigitation on it to make it look super fancy.
Yeah, that's
like
fine.
those people that put like some weird shit on their vapes and makes the fucking smoke come different colors.
Yeah, that.
Excellent. Yeah, I wanna try to puff that shit out, make like make a little O, puff it gently towards Zalabi.
So as Honey is putting out regular steam, you're putting out multicolored steam. It's turning into like a freaking David Bowie concert.
As it should. How is the crowd responding to all of this?
The crowd is so confused but so happy. They're all just like jumping for joy right now. The band is playing quite a bit louder. Like, they've never seen anything like this.
Excellent.
Yes, make them tired.
Solani notices the immovable rod you've put up above them as well.
Mm-hmm.
As she's spinning Honey, she reaches up and grabs it. With that, she manages to hook her legs around Honey, spinning on the rod with her arms, like she's twirling in circles while holding him.
My goodness.
She's dexterous. Are you holding on to Honey still, Bone? Are you coming with them?
Yeah, I'll throw an arm up there. I'll twirl with her.
While they're doing that, can I look around and see if I can find someone that would possibly be her owner?
Oh, make a perception.
Okay, perception.
As you're doing this,
19.
Okay, perfect. I will tell you something interesting. Yeah, Ludwig?
I was going to do something to enhance the performance.
1 second.
When she's done.
Once Solani grabs a hold of Bone as well, you are now all three kind of twirling around the rod. She's holding Honey with her legs, and you...
You cut out.
Did he die again?
He's dead. Oh god, CPR.
Oh, no. Heavy's
I'm alive.
dead.
I'm
You
alive.
cut out.
Where'd I cut out?
We're twirling.
So, she's twirling up to the point that she's completely vertical on the rod. She's doing a handstand, and she's got you in one hand. So she's doing a one-arm handstand with you kind of upside down underneath her, if that makes sense.
Excellent.
How you can hold that all up, we have to ask a monk. She's
So,
having a really good time.
I wanted to, I already rolled for it. It succeeds.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to use manipulate, what's the spell again? Something objects. Animate objects.
Okay.
And I want to use it to animate the fog and multicolored fog into almost like golems of sorts that like are dancing in tandem around them. And I'll use performance to see how that goes. 18 on the performance.
Okay.
Plus my D4.
So you've got little elemental fogs going.
So that would be... Actually, that'd be a 22 for their dancing.
Okay. They're managing to go along quite well. Going with the beat to the point that the crowd is actually trying to dance along with them. Solani finally puts down both Honey and Bone to do their own thing. And she continues to go ahead and, in a mixture of trapeze fashion / stripper pole, use the immovable rod.
She still has the whole, after images thing going on, too.
She's just twirling leg after leg around the pole, almost like an actual dance around it, vertically. Now to answer Saphir's question, there is a very slender elf standing next to the stage with her arms crossed.
It's a
She's
woman.
got long blonde hair, a large gem in the center of her forehead, and she's clad in all purple.
Okay, so we already know she's nobility because of the purple garments. Purple is a very hard dye to come by.
It's the color of the queen.
She's got...
At least for this time period, purple would be...
Yes.
High nobility.
She's wearing what could be best described as like black slacks, as well as a bit of a purple gown of sorts.
That's money. I want to walk towards her and still my cloak back up. I'm gonna stop next to her and I'm just gonna look at the stage and just very casually just want to say to her, "Is that one yours?" And I kind of point with like not with the finger, but kind of just motion towards Solani.
Has her arms crossed. Mind you, this woman is towering. Like,
yeah, I figured.
She's far taller than even Bema was. She's like maybe on the verge of 8 feet tall.
Christ, man. Mommy John over here.
Solani's such a sweet girl.
Seems like it. How much for her?
Oh.
At this, the woman's face kind of goes sour. Not for sale.
You sure?
What woman would sell her own daughter?
Excuse me, the fuck, what? Okay, I see. You got a point, Sorry. She said, she mentioned an owner, so I figured, you know, maybe a slave master, not her
she
fucking
technically
mom.
is the owner, because mother.
Do you know what I mean?
He stretched the meaning of owner.
Literally.
No, she smiles and kind of ignores you for the most part, but she's got no intention of parting with Solani, so.
Can I seduce her?
Hmm?
Can I seduce her?
Don't seduce the MILF.
Try.
Don't seduce the MILF.
I'm seducing the big elf lady. Wait, but the question is if she got big boobs.
Does she have giant tits?
Does she look like the lady from Resident Evil?
Does she have the badonkadonkas?
Does she look like the lady from Resident Evil?
Okay.
Does she look like the lady from Resident Evil Village?
No, I know what you're talking about.
Yes.
But does she? No,
yes?
She's not quite that stacked.
But is she stacked?
She's pretty well endowed for a person her size.
I am going to try and seduce her with my small build and giant flexibility.
Do you realize you come up to her chin?
I want this woman to break my back.
Oh,
she'll break your everything.
I don't care. My relationship with Bone is like fluff and shit. Sapphire needs to get her shit reeled. Like, wreck me. Make me roll at least 5 strength checks. And make me fail all of them.
Alright. Make your persuasion.
Okay. I don't have very good persuasion, but I did roll a natural 20. So, I think that gets me somewhere.
She has her hand on her hip and is looking down at you. You know, I was starting to think I wasn't attracted to things that were short.
I'm not short. I'm
But
just
apparently, if it gets small enough, it is a bit of a fetish.
Oh no! Oh no! Not Shota! Not Shota!
It is not a Shota.
That's not what that is.
No.
No. She goes ahead and at least motions towards a very large and prominent building behind the stage. It looks to be some kind of city hall.
Okay.
If you would like, my room is always unlocked.
Every time, every single time.
Saphira is gonna kind of like look around. Can she tell the time?
It's past sunset. It's maybe 9:30, 10ish.
I mean, I don't think this performance is gonna end anytime soon, and I'm honestly a little bored. No offense to your girl, but, you know, throwing knives kind of got me. I don't know. I want some more enthusiasm.
Enthusiasm. That's definitely a word for it. Hopefully, no one's expecting you anywhere else for a while.
Oh, they aren't. I can guarantee that. Let me just warn my friend over there. And she's going to walk up to Ludwig and she's just gonna like kind of nudge him a little bit. Yo, I'm gonna go get fucked over there. Be right back. And she's gonna walk towards the building.
As she comes up to him and says that, he's like, every time we meet a woman that could possibly have any relations with anyone, you immediately have to snatch the pussy before any of us can get a take.
It's more like she's snapping my pussy.
You
snatching
whore.
my pussy. Excuse me. I have a traumatic experience with man. I want to be fucked by a woman. Leave me alone.
He says that only because she's trying to make a girlfriend at every turn.
Yes! I want a fucking girlfriend in every town.
Whore.
Okay, listen, if the bard of the party is not gonna be the hoe, I am.
Because the bard of the party has semblance.
You
Well,
may
I
be
don't.
forced to make some death saving throws.
It's fine.
Okay.
We can just revivify me later.
Because of this, I want to use cutting words. As I say, whore.
I'm gone.
No. Because you came up to talk to me, I want to say whore. And as I say that, use cutting words.
Don't make me take damage, please, because I'm probably already gonna take damage.
It's not gonna make you take damage. It's gonna make you take disadvantage from whatever I roll.
Don't
every
do that.
roll.
I don't want to die.
No, I'm gonna do that just because.
Please don't.
Nope.
I'm actually
already gonna happen. You will
are gonna get your pelvis crushed.
3 points of disadvantage on whatever you roll.
What does that even mean?
That means
every time you have to make a save, a check, or a throw, it's -3 off the bat.
Okay.
You're gonna get your pelvis crushed.
You really want me to die? I see that. Okay.
No, not die. You'll just get wrecked.
Yeah, and he just said that I could possibly do saving throws, and I asked you not to do it.
That'd be a paradox if you died.
That is true. That is very true, actually.
Even if the GM allowed you to die, that'd be a paradox, and then a paradox out of character, that'd be a paradox. So if you did die, that would kill us all. So
I'm gonna go ahead and say that this very tall and slender woman has started to leave the area of the stage Solani notices this and looks a bit distressed. She immediately stops swinging and finds her feet planted firmly on the stage. She's got her arms crossed and is a little bit... She looks like she's shivering. As this woman goes back inside of the building behind her. Are you coming?
Oh yeah, I am. Sorry. I'll follow her.
Okay. Off those two go. That leaves Bone. You're still on stage.
I'm gonna look at Salami and I'm gonna be like, hey, like Loki, trying to keep the stage presence going, but I'm gonna Loki be like, hey, everything all right?
I wish I could say so, but you're right, the show must go on. She tries to shake it off a little bit and smiles at Honey. What other tricks does he know?
I'd like to pull out my my water skin and dump out some water into Honey's mouth, like have him open his mouth and slurp up the water. And I'll say to Honey, in Draconic, I'd be like, Honey, I wanna make her smile. Can you do some fun little water tricks? You know, just play around a bit.
Honey flops on the ground first, trying to think of what he can do.
So I want to help this.
Hmm?
I want to use create water, but make an orb of water.
Okay.
In the center of the stage and make it large with another tattoo.
Okay.
23.
So
he can at least swim around in it.
okay. Honey is currently... Ooh, you know what? Perfect. He's gonna go ahead and use a lair action.
Oh, nice.
He's going to go ahead and from that mouthful of water you gave him, he's going to start spitting out a geyser of water. Almost as if, like, the giant geyser is such a big tower that it's going up into the sky past the clouds.
Oh my god.
Makes it look like it's raining.
I want to use prestidigitation
Boy.
on the rain to make it look like it's raining gold. Okay. Les, you cut out again. Les, Lazarus, DM. Bro. Kumquat?
You do this to me. Oh. Hello.
I'm back.
As soon as I say kumquat, he returns.
So that giant tower of water is now raining down from the sky, appearing as though it's a giant, not quite a storm, but a nice, pleasant shower.
Gold.
It's also simultaneously, he's using control water on that giant orb of water that you made, Ludwig. And he's turning it into... Let me... You know what? I'm going to make a quick roll. Oh.
He gets also, remember, 6d4 of any charisma.
Oh. So he turned it into a water dragon.
Oh boy.
Not quite like a leviathan, not like a chunky boy, but it's a giant oolong. that he's now in control of.
All right.
Good boy. So smart.
It goes up to you, Bone, and just like honey, it licks your nose. Because you know you're in control of honey, you're technically in control of this thing. What are you gonna have it do?
It's gonna join the dance. It's gonna just around and swish swish water.
Okay.
Maybe like playfully splash at the audience.
Okay. I will say it travels over the audience's head, kind of showering them once in a while. And on top of that, once it returns to the stage, because it's very serpent-like, it starts wrapping in circles repeatedly until it becomes a full-on whirlpool.
God.
Can you use Gust of Wind to make it a vortex?
Yes. Be careful not to make this thing dangerous.
Yeah,
No,
I don't want
make
anything
it,
bad
I
to
want to make
happen.
it like the guys are like a vortex into the sky, where it's just a long cylindrical vortex.
It looks like the Pokemon 2000 vortexes. Oh god.
And lastly, what I want to do is I want to send a message to Bone,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to alert her that I'm going to temporarily take control of the water.
Control over it technically.
Huh?
I technically don't have control over it. It's technically
Oh.
honey.
Oh.
You can tell him what to do. It's okay.
That's
I want
true.
to
Be a good
use
boy.
Sleet Storm in the middle of the vortex to freeze the whole thing.
Ooh. Wait a minute. Solani notices that you're trying to cast Sleep Storm on it, and she asks down at you, could you cast it a little bit at a time?
Well, what I want to do is like in the middle, so like it goes out in both directions and like slowly but surely like frosts it.
Okay. She's going to cast Water Walking on herself while you're doing this.
Nice.
So, she's now running up this giant cyclone of water that is slowly freezing behind her.
That's really cool.
That is a really nice looking effect.
And
Yep.
to help top it off, I want to use, because I'm still controlling the objects, to use the fog to make it so that it's going up the center of it, and as it goes to freeze, that like there's like little divots in the freezing, so like the fog can like seep out around going down. Still
Okay.
multicolored, and I wanted to use dancing lights in the vortex, so that's like echoing this multicolored dimensions around the whole vortex as it's being frozen, going from the top to bottom. So as she goes up to the top, there's this fog coming down from the cracks in it being multi-lit and colored. Still following me? Hello?
He dead.
Les, you died again.
Very sad.
Les.
Some pieces. There he is.
There you go.
Yeah.
Does that all work out? Hmm?
Oh.
Les?
Rest in peace.
Struggle is real.
Les, please.
I'm
Close.
okay now. I'm think.
Hi.
Okay. So does
Hi.
it all work out as I'm describing?
Yes. All of that works quite well.
Can we know if I die now?
Yes. So, cutting back to Sapphire quickly.
Oh boy.
You have walked inside this giant manor, and on top of this being City Hall, this is also very obviously her home. She takes you up to her room, which is clad in the same color of purple that she is, as well as like a eggshell white beige color all the way across all the walls. It is circular, and there is a very large king-size bed with many an implement along the back wall.
The most important question is, does she have a torture chamber?
This is the torture chamber.
Okay! Fair enough.
There's whips of nine tails, there's various iron shackles, there are lots of fire pokers. Ooh.
Okay.
Make a Constitution save.
That's not good. 4.
She picks you up and immediately tosses you to the bed.
Okay.
Meanwhile, she has hold of your clothing, ripping it as you go flying.
Are we doing
No,
a full
don't
scene
damage
here,
my
or are
cloak,
we doing a
please.
fade to black?
We'll go for a fade to black.
Okay.
I mean, y'all can go.
So
I will make you make 1-2 strength saves with disadvantage.
2 strength saves at disadvantage?
Plus the
Yes.
-3.
I know. That's a 1. Not a
Okay.
natural 1, but a 1.
Okay.
And then... That's a 2. I rolled pretty fucking low.
Okay. I will inform you of what exactly happens to you through a message instead.
Well, this
But-
is a...
I mean, you can just go in the whisper chat real quick.
Nah, it'll be too long. Anyway.
So, while this is occurring, back at
Mhm.
the Cyclone, I want to send out my rocket-propelled fist to go up and, like, extend a hand so she can get down safely.
She notices the hand come up, and she's now at the top of this, like, maybe 90 to 100 foot tower, right? Your hand reaches down 60 feet, and she jumps off the top.
Okay.
Your hand is about as far off as it could possibly be. She is falling very quickly, and aims for the hand. However, when she tries to reach it, she misses.
I'm gonna have it just grab her arm.
She winks and slips her hand out.
Okay, then.
She casts Featherfall on herself, but as she continues to fall, the water dragon that initially made the tower has caught her and is pulling her above the crowd.
So there's still a giant ice pillar clone there. Okay. My hand will just return to me. I want to use dancing lights to shove into the water dragon to make it look multicolored. What?
That's fine. You managed to do that, and it looks like it's got multicolored scales as it carries her over the crowd. Does that work?
Yeah.
Okay. Any of you two want to do anything else?
I want
mean-
to. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I don't think I can. I think I'm getting my fucking shit wrecked.
Yes.
I wanna stay as like the high elf and like slip onto stage behind Bone as everyone's preoccupied.
Okay.
Well, Bone, I do believe you did yourself a number.
Yeah, having a great time. Seems like the crowd's loving it.
I will give both. Actually, I'll give all three of you inspiration.
Okay.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to slip on down to the crowd and shift my way back over to the tiefling.
Okay.
So, what do you think of my illusions?
She smiles a bit. You know, they are actually quite impressive. But I do have one friend who might be a little better than you in that department.
Oof.
Might.
Are you referring to your Kenku?
No, he wishes.
Is he still there?
No, Dolan's back at the shop. He's sweeping.
Oh, poor boy.
But
Well, my
this is
dear,
going on. Sorry?
Can I buy you a drink? He's going to say, he's going to try to flirt with her.
You can attempt. Make a persuasion.
Persuasion, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Unamento?
With disadvantage.
Oh, with disadvantage?
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to use my, okay. Perception, disadvantage.
There is a good reason. So.
And then I'm also going to add my d6 to it.
Mm-hmm.
So that would be a 19 with disadvantage.
Impressive. But Bema is going ahead and look at you with a bit of affinity. As much as that does sound like a good time, there's plenty of liquor right here. And, moreover, I think that it's a good time for us to be leaving.
For that is true as well. Shall we head back to your shop, Mutton?
Not a problem. And I will say that this is